We're back to Riverside Brookfield High School, and we're ready for a full night of action. We got a full booth in here. We've got my man Ibrahim Samra. I am Eric Henry. We've got Riverside Brookfield's 2 sports reporters in here, and we're ready for kickoff. And the kickoff is taken. He's heading up to the 25-yard line, and that is Glenbard South on the kick return.
Yeah, and as an early prediction, we can always see with past experiences with the Bulldogs, if their opposing team doesn't get past that 50-yard line early on in the game, they have a tough time scoring. So we're going to see how this Bulldogs defense does throughout the game.
All right, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the Glenbard South Bulldogs. Their head coach is Ryan Chrissy. He is 16-13 here in his 3rd season. He's a real defensive guy. Mike Riley's their offensive coordinator, and Ryan Chrissy will be taking the plays on defense. Come out in a shotgun formation. Here is the snap, a little motion, the give up. Whoa, running through the fields. He's taking off to the 40, up to the 50. He's breaking another tackle, going up to the 40. It's a great start for Glenbard South, guys.
Oh, yeah, that was a great run by number 33, Drew Vaza, with a big run right there. That took the Matt, they're on the opposite side of the 50, first play of the game.
Yeah, that's something that goes against predictions, but that happens all the time. That was taken down by Zachary Via for the Bulldogs, number 15.
Ibrahim, what'd you see on that play?
I just see the guy that punted the ball, and he just took it over. And he ran some guys down, and you can see Glenbard South looking like they didn't really go into a huddle there, so it looks like they're trying to go quick. Let's see what they could do right now. Maybe they give it back to him.
Well, they got an early first down in motion coming here. And it's going to be stopped. That was number 44 for Glenbard South. That's Adam Halshan, a fullback linebacker, 6'2", 220 on the give there.
Man, 6'2", 220, that's a fullback, man.
That's a man right there. He's got good size.
Yeah, guys, that was a 36-yard run to open off the game for Drew, so look for him to have a big night.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's key for Glenbard South to come in here and get off to a quick start against a team that's 7-1. Go 2nd down. Looked like no gain there, 2nd and 10. Snap, dropping back. He's looking, he's getting pressured, and he's going to be taken down by number 16.
It's Jeffrey Bills.
Oh, it's like Jeffrey Bills for Riverside Brookfield. Jeffrey Bills, we talked about him in the open.
Yeah, all year he's been a playmaker for the Bulldogs, sacking the quarterback, putting pressure. Him and Von Hope always making the opposing quarterbacks run out of the pocket.
Let me tell you, that guy was untouched, and that's what you don't want, is a guy coming off the edge looking to just get his prey right inside.
Yeah, that looked like a full-on blitz from the Bulldogs, right up through the middle.
A 3rd and long now for the Raiders. They really need to get some yards here.
Play action pass.
Oh, he gets sacked again. Is that number 44? Is that Dominic Rowe for Riverside Brookfield? Dominic Rowe there on the sack. And they're bringing up 4th down. After that big gainer for Glenbard South, Riverside Brookfield making a stand.
Yeah, definitely, and you do not want to punt the ball to Zach Via. He has taken the ball many times for gains of over 30 yards. Matt, you've seen it firsthand.
Yeah, Zach Via and number 1 G-man, Stefan Gaminski. We know that man. He's got that Madden speed 99. He can get across that field.
He's a real playmaker back there, guys. Let's see what they got on the punt. Kind of that rugby-style kick. Looking to get away from him. The ball will take a bounce. He's got on the return. Take a hard step, and he's running. Looks like he's going to be, good block, almost a block in the back there. Got a good return, about 10, 11 yards up to the 34-yard line.
Now when you look at Riverside Brookfield, now their offense comes out on the field, and what a good start on defense for them. I mean, they come out and Glenbard South catching them with a surprise off the edge, and now 2, 3 good plays in a row getting to the quarterback, and now they're setting up their quarterback, their quarterback, Hunter Hughes, who could do it all almost inside and outside the pocket. So let's see what they could do here on the first possession.
Yeah, nothing would be better for the Bulldogs than to have a defensive stand and then come out and score 7 points.
Really quick for the Bulldogs, their head coach is Brendan Curtin. He is in his 6th season. Looks like we've got early false start, moving back 5 yards. While they're moving back, but I'll finish up. We've got a nice feature on Brendan Curtin. He's a Riverside Brookfield alum, kind of hometown guy, and there's a great story about how he got the job here. But he's in his 6th season, 3 straight playoff appearances. They got off to a slow start in his tenure, 2 straight losing seasons. But after that, 3 straight playoff appearances. He's 33-25.
Man, throughout the years, we know Brendan Curtin, a very unpredictable coach with all those risky plays that he plays on the field goal line.
Yeah, he's got a bag of tricks. Watch out. He might pull out an onside kick if the Bulldogs really need it.
Yeah, we've heard about Curtin and his offensive strategies. His offense averages over 30 points a game. Let's see what they got here on the give. That's Del Nodal. Oh, here we go. He's out in the open field. He's running to the 40. Nice cut back to the 50. He's taking off to the 40, the 30.
They're not going to catch him.
They're not going to catch him. He is gone. Touchdown, Riverside Brookfield, guys.
Very nice.
And you guys have seen that all year from him, right?
What a run.
We're very used to that 75-yard touchdown for Nick Del Nodal.
Hey, what did I say, huh?
That was an animal running down the field, man.
Yeah, absolutely. He looked like Jordan Howard taking off for the Bears. That's a great start, and they're up 6-0 here in this matchup.
Wow, what a way to start off the game. You're going to see this replay, hopefully sooner rather than later. That was such a great run right outside, and he's going to go all the way. He turns up the jets. He goes right then left, then he sees the gap, goes all the way down for the touchdown, and no one can catch up with him.
Absolutely. He's a burner.
Yeah, it's all about that lateral quickness that he gets.
The extra point is up and good. And quick note on Nodal, we talked about him in the open. He runs a 11-1 100-meter dash, and so the kid can fly a sub 4.540. So he's got great numbers, and you saw the speed right there. These Riverside Brookfield guys can talk about seeing him.
Yeah, Nick Del Nodal, a great running back. He's a senior. He's been doing this all year for the Bulldogs, all last year too. He's going to go off this game. After a run like that, watch out.
I wouldn't be surprised if the track and cross-country coaches have been calling his number his past 4 years, because this guy, he can run.
Yeah, he's very fast. He's a very fast runner.
Yeah, he is on track too, so I mean.
Yeah.
Just another quick note on Nodal. You know, he's got solid weight room numbers too. You know, he's pretty strong. You can bench his max bench here at 240, 370-pound squat. He's only 165 pounds. So you got to understand, when you put those numbers in relation to his weight and size, he's a dynamic player back there, and that's why they're up 7-0. They're ready for the kickoff.
Now, if you're Glenbard South, you're kind of scrambling for what to do now, because you came out the game with an attack, run down the field, and then 1, 2, 3 turnaround, and they're already down 7-0.
There's the kick at the 10. Could be going to the 15. There he is. He's on the 16-yard line.
He called it up to the 16, almost a little fake end around there on the kick return.
And let's see if the Bulldogs keep the defensive pressure going, ending that last drive with 2 consecutive sacks. So let's see what happens now.
Absolutely. Let's go into a quick note on Glenbard South quarterback Jack Crouch. He's a smart guy. He's pretty poised. He's been getting interest from Ivy League schools and University of Chicago. So, he'll be pretty poised back there. He can handle, up to this quick start. And let's see what he can operate for this offense here.
Yeah, he's not going to be pressured at all, even though they find himself down 7-0. He's going to try to make the right play for his team, and most times he does.
There's a pitch out to the running back.
That's Vaza.
Got a good gain up to about the 28. Go ahead. Who was that again on the carry?
That's Drew Vaza out there, number 33.
Gotcha.
And taking on defensive players for the Bulldogs, number 44, Dominic Monroe. He's a junior. He's been doing very good for the Bulldogs all year, and along with sophomore Chris Doherty, number 28. You guys can find him on the bottom of your screen. He's zone coverage or man coverage on the wide receivers. Take note of that.
Got first down. That was good for first down yardage, so it's 1st and 10.
And they got about 4 wide receivers.
Lined up in the shotgun here. Plays taking a while to come in. Motion, here's a snap. The give off to the right side. Not going to get much. About 2 or 3 in the play. That looked like Drew Vaza again on the carry for Glenbard South.
Yeah, that was Drew Vaza again. He's got 3 rushes for 48 yards, 16 yards per carry. Looking pretty good so far.
We're up 2nd and 10. It's a really great start for Riverside Bulldog defense, especially coming in here and got the hometown crowd, home atmosphere. It's a good start for them.
Yeah, and the weather has been amazing. It's usually be stuck in around the 50s around this time of night.
You're right. It's a beautiful night for football. Sorry to cut you off there. You're right.
Yeah, October 20, guys, and it's almost 70 degrees outside. I mean, come on. It's Friday night football.
Here's the snap. Looking long.
Ooh, very nice catch.
It's a nice catch by number 14, Jacob Colby, receiver. Not going to be first down yardage. Be about 3rd and about mid-range, 6 or 7.
And Jacob Colby, 5'9", kind of an unusual number for a wide receiver. You usually see them around the high 6
Oh, there's a fumble.
Absolutely, got a fumble on the play. Riverside Brookfield says they have it. That'd be huge if they can't get the fumble.
And it looked like on the pitch there, it came up just short. And he could not get a handle of it. And it looked like he kind of tossed it a little short there.
And it was number 44. He was trying to run before he had the ball, and that's not good.
We could be seeing a fumble in the play again.
By the way, the punt team is out. Who's that back deep for Riverside Brookfield, guys?
That is Zach Via, number 15. He's a junior, very quick speed, but also looks like Jack Crouch also is the punter for
Doubles
this
as the
team.
punter, correct.
Very nice punt.
Pick it up on the bounce. Gonna make a man miss. Reversing field. He's got some room there. Off to the 40. He's gonna cut around court to the 50. You guys weren't kidding about these dynamic playmakers from Riverside Brookfield.
Yeah, no, that was he turned a no return into 20 yards right there. Just a few quick moves, and he's.
They looked like they had him pinned down at the 30, and then all of a sudden, jab left, jab right, and he's out around the edge and taking off.
Yeah, and it's that shutter quickness that he has, that quick step that he gets on that right turn towards the right side of the field on the right sideline, and he can get away with that.
Guys, really quick, talk about Hunter Hughes here as he get ready to snap the ball first down. Hughes is a guy who took over last year for Keenan Scott as he hands off on the play for a gain of about 2. Could you give us a little info on, he took over Keenan Scott over in Wakanda, correct?
Yeah, that was an amazing game. Bulldogs down 20-0 most of that game. Hunter, three series, 3 touchdowns, game-winning 2-point conversion, and he was the hero over here, and you can't bench a hero.
And that definitely earned him his starting position with the first string lineup.
And he's been a winner. He's 13-4 since taking over. He's here in second down, 10 out of the gun, dropping back. Looking. Wow. And deliver a pass down the slot.
And that's Zach Via. That's the guy who just returned the punt. And the connection, very accurate.
Oh, they got someone down on the play, holding his knee ankle for Glenbard South. Doesn't look good.
Got an injury down there. Yeah. Doesn't look good. Let's hope it's not too bad, guys.
Yeah, we never like to see injuries on the field.
Absolutely.
But I mean, again, Eric, you're talking about Hunter Hughes. Hunter Hughes. Like I said in the pregame, he hunts down his receivers, and you can see right there, he has his eyes up and he sees what's in front of him. So that's what you like to see out of a quarterback, especially in high school. You don't get that many people who have a good picture of what's going around.
Really quick, guys, could you talk about that dynamic last year? Because he's been a winner ever since taking over the job. Do you have any insight on what kind of happened? Because he was playing running back, correct, before he took over the quarterback job?
From what I know, Hunter, he was just the backup quarterback, really close with Keenan Scott, always just waiting for this one chance because, he'd usually get reps when the Bulldogs were in the fourth quarter up by a lot, and they called for Hunter against Wakanda. Hunter did not disimpress people.
Didn't disappoint.
Didn't disappoint people. And
yeah, he always stepped up to the plate when the coach asked him to get up on the field. And he found Zach Via because at the time Zach Via was a sophomore and, believe it or not, played the same as he does now as he did last year. And kind of made it easier for Hunter Hughes to get that open man on the field. And it really brought him up.
Is that number 1?
And over on October 13th, the Bulldogs took up against St. Edward for a 21-14 win. It's tied at 14-14 with 49 seconds left, and Hunter Hughes passed it to Zach Via with a 21-14 victory right at the end.
Really quick, that player was walked off on his own power. That was Sam Macasire who gave it a shot there for Glenbard South.
And here's a Nick Del with the ball. It just won't go down. Instead of just getting tackled for no gain, he will fight for those 2 yards that they become important in those couple yards.
Bring up 2nd and 9, short game from Del Nodal. We've already seen as a game breaker. Can't break him off for 75, but he'll take the gain right there, bring him 2nd down. Deep in Glenbard territory here.
Yeah, they just entered the red zone, and Hunter loves the red zone. Just need to give his wide receivers just the little edge with their speed, and that's all Hunter needs.
Looks like it's another carry for Del Nodal. Let's see if that's good enough for a first down yardage. Look about a gain of 6 or 7 on the play.
Yeah, it looks like Riverside Brookfield, they're not backing down from the run game. It looks like they're trying to take it back to the zoo one more time.
Guys, really quick, can you give us a perspective on their offense? Has it been a kind of that split of run pass? What's their balance?
It's usually about a run and gun. They usually give it off to Nick Delnado or Zach Villa, but you also, of course, you got to use your weapon, Hunter Hughes. He's got that shotgun pass and that play action pass, and he can get that ball off really quick when he's rolling off to the right. So that's something you got to pay attention to.
And like you called it right here. Go ahead and call it out.
Yeah, play action pass, touchdown.
Oh, that's a drop. That's a drop.
That was Elliott Royer wide open in the end zone. Hunter back through him a little bit, and not Elliott's fault completely, but that's some points that RB needs, and that's going to bring up 4th and 3. Let's see what Brendan Curtin decides to do.
Folks at home, can you tell they watch this team every week? Because they right ahead, man's right on spot with the play action call.
And that's the play, man.
Yeah, Hunter's got that double threat. He's always got the arm, and you always got to worry about keeping him in the pocket. But then if he gets out of the pocket, he can run or he can throw. So you got to watch out.
So that'll bring up 4th down.
Going with the field goal here, you would think they would go on it on 4th down, but looks like they're going to get the field goal.
And that kick is up.
Very nice kick.
That kick is up and good by Colin Reardon. That is
Colin Reardon, yep.
They go with 3 there instead of 7 and try to go on 4th down. You think they would go for it, knowing that Glenbard South has had a difficult time with, offensively. But, you always want to take the points if they're there. And early on, you get a 2-possession lead going up 10-0. You're right in the driver's seat if you're Riverside Brookfield.
I actually don't mind the call. I mean, you go up 10 here, and you got Brendan Curtin. These guys have talked about his offensive strategy. Just get a little bit into Coach Curtin's background there. This is his alma mater. He took the job after 4 seasons as the offensive coordinator at Nazareth Academy, and he himself, he's an offensive guy. Like we said, he was a starting quarterback and played 4 years between Pasadena Junior College in California and St. Xavier University. So he's an offensive guy. He knows the strategy and the ebb and flow of the game. So he's looking to get the points on the board and make something happen. We're here for the kickoff.
Always some great quarterbacks in Brendan Curtin's program.
And Riordan going up for the full kickoff today.
Beautiful kick down to the 5. He's on the left. Oh,
they faked their, or no, they faked
the
their
handoff.
We got a flag. We got some laundry on the field, so that might be coming back, guys.
And he made it all the way to 35. Faked both of us.
Yeah, we definitely thought that the end around came.
Yeah. I like it. Always keeping the Bulldogs on their toes.
Absolutely. As we talked about in our pregame open, this is a game that Glenbard South needs as we get the call here. It is a hold. So that run will come back. This game that Glenbard South needs to control their own destiny. If they win tonight, they clinch a playoff berth. If not, they're going to need some more things to fall into place. So go ahead and break out all the stops.
It's in the hands of high school football.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one for them. It's a rough crowd to go against. RB's crowd is insane, and it always is.
Guys, I was about to ask you guys, we were at Ridgewood a couple weeks ago, and that was a rainy night, so not to hold against that atmosphere, but they've got a full house here tonight.
Yeah, they do. They love RB football. The fans always out here, rain or shine, and tonight's just a perfect football night. Crowded last regular season game. They'll be back next week for a home game in the playoffs.
Jack Crouch looking to make something happen here. He's rolling, but he's going to get maybe back to the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, that was Jeff Bills with the tackle, not letting him get past.
And you guys told us about Bills in the pregame open. Can you talk about Bills a little bit? He's a dynamic playmaker, isn't that right there on defense?
Yeah, always pressuring the quarterback, making him run out of the pocket, and he'll never let the quarterback get past him. Never let anybody really get past him. Jeff's got that just strength and agility to just always keep the player in front of him.
Absolutely. He's looking to make a name for himself here. Say Nick DeAmber is not the only stud linebacker out here. It's 2nd down and 10. Glenbard South.
3 wide receivers.
That was a handoff to Vaza.
He's going to be stuck.
Yeah, that was Jeff Bills.
Jeff Bills again.
Yep, tackle for loss. He's always back there. Jeff Bills is just everywhere.
It looked like the Glenbard South running back got it a little bit early there, but they won't call it either way. Didn't get much. Ibrahim, what you see down there, buddy?
I see all sorts of things, man. I can see on my left side, I see a guy with some nachos. It looks pretty good. Cheese sauce and some chips right now look good right now because this game, 10-0, but it seems much closer than that just because of the fight both teams have so far.
Bring up 3rd and long.
Yeah, they need this. They do not want to give the Bulldogs offense the ball back, who's 2 for 2 in their scoring drive.
As Crouch is scrambling, looking. He's got to get rid of the football.
He's got nobody.
tackle, that was who's on the tackle for Riverside Brookfield?
Number 54, Matt.
You see on the replay right here.
That was James Mazzura there for Riverside Brookfield on the tackle. He's lucky he wasn't stopped for a safety there, guys.
Yeah, he's very close to the end zone. That does not look good.
Down at the 1.5 yard line.
Yeah, the 1.5 yard line there.
And if you're Glenbard South, the offensive line, I mean, you can't blame it all on Crouch because he's trying to get guys the ball, but, you know, unfortunately, he's just not getting the time back there.
Yeah, too much pressure from the defensive line of the Bulldogs. He's just not getting enough time. Yeah, you're completely right.
Looks like he'll be back there to punt as well.
He's going to have to get this one off quick.
And he does. He gets a pretty good kickoff. Oh, takes a Riverside Brookfield bounce, and he'll bounce out of bounds about the 36-yard line. That's great starting field position for these guys.
Yeah, but that might have been the best case scenario for him because there was a lot of open field to the right, and that was Zach Vaya, who we've seen.
And you hit it right in the head. I was just about to say it. If they gave it to him right in the middle of the field, there was no one back there yet. So, you know, it took actually a Glenbard South bounce out of bounds because if he gets that ball in the middle of the field, you know, he's turning down the Jets. He's probably taking it to the house one more time. So, you know, best case scenario for Glenbard South is just get out of there, just like they did.
Yeah. It all has to do with that defensive pressure from the defensive line. They had extra guys back there to protect Jack so he can get the punt off.
Looks like a little shovel pass there is incomplete.
Another play action pass attempt.
And that was Stefan Gaminsky, the intended receiver. Hunter will find more opportunities to hit his man later tonight.
Bring him second down, and you know, so Riverside Brookfield, they're in a really good position here. You know, what you got, Ibrahim?
You know what? Head coach for Riverside Brookfield, he looks like he knows what he's doing because he's making this defense work. You see him running it, play action to the left. They're running the ball up the middle just like they are now. And they're making this defense work. So, you know, if they wear out this defense, this lead could get much larger than 10-0 by the halftime.
Yeah, Coach Curtin's going to do what he can to be unpredictable. He's going to switch up those plays like I said earlier, Hunter Hughes with that play action pass and that shotgun pass. He's going to switch it up with the Delno Dell going up through the middle and off to the sides. What we haven't seen from Coach Curtin is maybe some halfback pitches or anything on the side, off to the sidelines, but that's something that you got to know about Curtin. He's very unpredictable.
Absolutely. Like you said, Curtin's offense, going back to his days at Nazareth, they've averaged over 30 points a game. So, you know, he's definitely a gambler, a playmaker, and a play caller. You know, got some movement.
Yep, got a false start.
Looks like they're moving back 5. Bring up 3rd and 14 for Riverside Brookfield. Curtin, just a quick note on this, he likes to describe his offensive philosophy as playing as a balanced run-pass game with even ball distribution to multiple players. And, you know, we've seen a couple guys make plays already. Del Nodell breaking off long. Glenbard South, they kind of bottled him up since that long run, but, you know, game's early.
Yeah, Del Nodell's got 5 carries right now, 84 yards. So almost end of the first quarter, and he's almost at the century mark. So Raiders got to step up on defense.
He's dropping back with
very quick pass to number 9.
Yeah, that's Jake Vaya out there. That's Zach Vaya's brother. He's a senior.
Okay, good info, nice to know.
5-yard catch for Jake.
That'll bring up 4th down. Think we'll be going to the punt formation here for you guys? Or?
And for everybody,
Hunter Hughes is still out there, so it looks like they're going for it.
And for everybody watching at home, you can catch a glimpse of the sidelines for the Bulldogs. Number 11, Devin Moody. He is injured. He's not playing as the wide receiver for the Bulldogs right now. Should be out for a couple of weeks.
Bumble snap by Hughes. He's rolling.
He's going to have to throw this away. He's turning the corner. He's going to throw downfield, and
it's going to be incomplete. That's a huge stop there for Glenbard South, you know, keeping the ball game.
Yeah, they had nothing there on that play. I mean, you kind of figure that they're going to go for it because they're inside the 50 on Glenbard South, you know, in Glenbard South's territory. But it just, you know, Glenbard South defense finally had to come up with, you know, a stop there, and they did.
Ibrahim, they did a good job responding there because it was you don't want to say do or die because it's early in this ball game, but they punted deep in their territory and they got a big time stop here. So
yeah, let's hope they can. That's a motivation for their offense to maybe get in scoring position and turn this field, you know, the other way because they're pinning them down inside the 30 every single time.
Yeah, there couldn't be a better opportunity for the Raiders to score right now than after 3 and out for the Bulldogs offense, who's been hot all game.
Absolutely. Bring up Chad Crouch and he'll operate this offense.
We got 4 wide receivers. Number 12 rotating over, drops the ball.
And the Bulldogs definitely have this one.
That's what they did not need.
That was a trip up. Wow.
The call is official.
And that's Anthony Mirko with the fumble recovery for the Bulldogs. That's the second time that the Raiders have had this audible handoff to the a guy in motion that's just not worked.
Absolutely. You saw that, folks at home, at the replay there. It was just a bumble from the start. And that's almost a backbreaker for Glenbard South, because they get the ball back after a huge stop, but they're not able to capitalize. They turn it right back over and to this dynamic offense in Hunter Hughes and Glenbard.
And again, the defense for Glenbard South is on the field.
Absolutely.
Yeah, they're definitely tired out there.
Hughes is going long. He's got number 15 up in the end zone. That's a touchdown.
Wow.
That is Zachary Vaya. You guys have called his name all night. You guys know Vaya better than anybody.
Oh, he's still on the ground. It looks like he's getting up slow. Terrific catch, but we got the medical staff heading towards.
Yeah, Vaya looks like he got in the back of that Riverside Brookfield end zone. Almost in that track portion there, guys. And this is down on the field, unfortunately.
Wow. He's had a very great game so far. It's only the first quarter, and he's broke out 2 times, and it's just hard to watch when you have a guy that's so vital to your offense.
Yeah, he's getting up now. He's on 2 feet. That's a great sign.
Yeah, but what a play call by Brendan Curtin. After the tired defense just had to contain the Bulldogs offense for a 3-and-out, he decides to go long play. Zach Vaya wide open, 32-yard touchdown.
It looked like it might be that left arm that's holding close to his body. Hopefully he can return to this game, because he's been everything for them so far today.
Yeah, 2 catches for 53 yards. That's both of Hunter Hughes' completions tonight.
Absolutely. One for the extra point here. This one is up and good. You guys talked about Brendan Curtin coming out here aggressive. You got to like that in a play caller. He senses the fact that Glenbard South turned over the football. He's looking to strike early.
Yeah, he's all about getting that ball down as quick as possible. What we just saw from Hunter Hughes is usually what you see in him at the last minute of the 4th quarter. That's how clutch Hunter Hughes is. And it seems like he brings up that motivation to his team. He brings that momentum. He gets the Bulldogs going. And that's the best thing you can see from this team. They bring up all of each other.
Yeah, but guys, what a perfect back shoulder pass by Hunter Hughes to find Zach Vaya. Not a lot of room for error right there.
And in high school football, like I said, we've seen, you guys typically do the Riverside games. We've done a couple games around. That's a pass that you don't see a lot of high school quarterbacks make, to be honest. Sometimes they underthrow it, sometimes they overthrow it. That's right on the money right there. So that's a great throw by Hughes.
And it's you could see the confidence he has in his quarterback, because he came out first play. That was a 50-yard pass in the corner of the end zone. Again, like you said, Eric, not something that's occasional when you come to play calling in high school, but he can make that throw, and his coach knows it.
Very nice pick. He's up to the 10.
They're going to go, they're going to reverse it.
That fake end around again. He's not going to get much.
Man, that Bulldogs defense is stopping them before the 20.
Before the 15, Matt. That's the second time. They're too fast, they're too quick, and they're just too strong right now for these Raiders, who are desperately in need of some points.
And that clock's just going to run down for the first quarter. Down to 28 seconds.
Ryan Chrissy looks like he's in no rush, but Alex, we have a stop in the play. I don't know if Chrissy called timeout. Or no, that was a stop to set the offense. Now they're talking keep rolling.
When you think of October in high school football, you always think about getting ready for the playoffs, and you could tell that Riverside Brookfield is ready for these playoffs. I mean, they've done everything well on every facet of the game: special teams, offense, and defense.
Crouch on the keeper. Got a little room up to the 21-yard line.
About 5-yard gain for Crouch, who he's trying to show off that he's being underseen by Hunter Hughes, but
yeah. Crouch is a guy who doesn't necessarily get a lot of love, because like I said, you got a great quarterback here in Hunter Hughes. He made a phenomenal throw there earlier. That'll bring us to the end of the first quarter. Very quick start for Riverside Brookfield. Bulldogs are up 17-0 against the Raiders. And that'll be the end of one here on Frequency TV. They'll go ahead and switch fields here, switch sides of the field. Guys, really quick, like I said, you guys are around this team all season long. And is this the kind of start that you guys expected, from following this team all year?
They're definitely a first quarter offense team. They'll score in the first quarter and second quarter. They might, level off a little bit in the third and fourth quarter, but they strike early, they strike fast, and they have no mercy in the first few quarters.
Yeah, that's something we definitely see from the Bulldogs all the time. They come out quick and they come out strong. So there's more to see from them.
Ibrahim, as far as the the opposing team, Glenbard South, what can they do to try to get back in this ballgame?
They're going to have to do everything they can as far as moving the ball down the field. I mean, they have to reverse field position because, again, you've seen that Riverside Brookfield is starting on inside the 50 of Glenbard South territory, and then you see Glenbard South's starting from their own 15 most times. So you got to reverse the field, and unfortunately, in the high school, it's kind of hard for these. A lot of things have to go right for you to have an 80-yard drive, a 70-yard drive. So it's pretty tough, and they've had one turnover and another one that almost, they should have turned that one over too, as far as 2 fumbles. So you got to make sure you're on the money. You got to make sure that you're together intact, on the same page, and that's what they need to do here to start off this second quarter.
Yeah, they're fumbling and the offensive line's just breaking down, so it's a double jeopardy right there for the Raiders, who they need to maybe incorporate the passing game.
Crouch is rolling.
He's got some room. He keeps going. Yeah, he's going to run out of bounds.
Up to about the 28 there. Just a quick note on Glenbard South. They're coached by Ryan Chrissy, and a guy who also has been with that program a long time, just like Brendan Curtin. And he's a defensive guy, but he's got to come out and strike fast here for his ball club. Maybe dial up something for Jack Crouch and go long down the field.
And in the first 5 minutes of the first quarter, you could tell it was a bit of a tug of war. Both teams, defensively stopping each other, and that little breakaway that the Bulldogs have, and now they got some momentum defensively and offensively.
Crouch rolling. He makes a very decisive move. Get a couple yards, but it's really solid tackling there by Riverside Brookfield.
Yeah, their tackling game is very strong. They are not going to let any of these guys break out for 80, 75-yard runs like their offense always does.
Ibrahim, you made a note about the offensive line earlier. Coming into this season, Glenbard South had to replace its entire defensive line, and they had to replace 3 offensive linemen in summer workouts. So, they've had a year to kind of gel together, but they're still working at it.
Yeah, I mean, they're gonna have to gel together today if they want any chance, because they already found themselves 17-0 on the road, and you already know, in an opposing crowd, it's going to be hard to come back. So this offensive line has to do something.
And we got a little trickery. That's number 20 on and I was looking long.
14 wide open.
He's wide. Oh!
It looked like the pass was on point. It looked like he slowed down at the very end, and it ended up being in front of him. So missed opportunity for him.
It was Jacob Colby with that missed attempt.
Jacob Colby who missed the pass there, and that was Ryan McConville on the wide receiver end around pass.
For a wide receiver throwing that ball 30 yards, that was pretty good. A little underthrown, but that's a catch you need to make.
You can't ask for much. The receiver slowed up. He had a chance, nothing but turf in front of him to make a play.
That's the one chance you have to take the knife out of your back and get some points on the board. Just missed opportunities have been killing the Raiders so far.
Absolutely. Working 3rd down and 9 for the Raiders. And a 5 receiver set, so they're being aggressive here. Crouch is looking. Got a little bit of time. Now he's getting pressure. He's got to get with the football here.
Wow.
This man goes. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
You guys call it. That was a heck of a hit right there, buddy.
Now, what do you call those big hits?
That's a whammy hit.
I like that, man. It was a whammy hit, but he held on. He got to give his receiver credit.
Yeah, he held on to that ball. That was a very nice bullet pass on the run.
That was number 14, Jacob Colby, on the reception.
Making up for that drop pass right there.
Absolutely.
And as I said before, with the offensive line, you could see that they're playing it up so that they're running out towards the right to run away from the defense. And unfortunately for them, they're going to have to keep doing that because their offensive line, he can't throw in the pocket right now because there's no way he's going to be able to stay in there. So they're going to have to keep running these play actions to the right and to the left.
Yeah, that Bulldogs D-line is definitely pressuring the QB for Glenbard South.
You know what? They're going to call a penalty on that helmet-to-helmet contact, 15 yards right there.
Wow. And that's a good call, especially in today's game. You want to take the helmet out of the game, especially here at the high school level. That's a good call. That'll move them up 15. Huge break for Glenbard South. Maybe they can cash in here and get 7.
Yeah, this is the first time since their first drive that they're on the opposite side of the 50. They need to take advantage of it right here, right now.
See what Crouch can dial up on 1st down. It's a quarterback draw. He's
very fast.
Absolutely. It's about a gain of 6 to 7 yards. You did mention that he's very fast. This guy's clocked at 4.5 in the 40, so he's a great athlete behind center.
And Jack Crouch seems to be taking matters into his own hands, but there's a flag on the field.
Yeah, it's against the Raiders, sadly, because that was a 12-yard gain by Crouch. We've seen a lot of these QB draw plays, and it's been working, half the time for these Raiders, but they need a little more consistency with that pass.
They shot themselves in the foot there, bringing it back 10 yards. You talk about a guy in Crouch. He's a two-sport athlete. He hit 250 last year on the baseball team. He's a guy. He's a 3-year starter and a real dual threat. He also took over, to kind of some funny circumstances, like how Hunter Hughes took over. He took over via injury, and he's been in his job ever since for 3 years. So he's a veteran back there.
And we could be seeing a pinch zone blitz from the Bulldogs, since could be running an option on the QB as he runs that ball constantly.
You call blitz, and they're definitely bringing pressure. That's 21 pressure, and that's toss out to the right.
Ooh, pushed out of the sidelines.
It looks like that was the first time they got the toss right without fumbling the ball. And again, you want to make sure that your hands are ready, because another turnover would just put Jack Crouch in a bad place with all the things he's trying to do.
Yeah, I mean, momentum and motivation-wise, he would be down.
That was Tavon Keith with about a 3-4 yard run right there, but it brings us 2nd and 18. You need to get somewhere to a 3rd and short kind of area. Maybe 4-down drive right here.
Yeah, definitely. I would say it's 4-down territory. See what they got. Another.
Off the 20, there was another handoff, but he's just taken down immediately. That was Ryan McConville.
Absolutely. You saw it looked almost like they were trying to set up for the wide receiver reverse pass again, but he kind of had the option to run it. That's what offensive coordinator Mike Riley dialed up there on 4th down.
Maybe a poor option right there. He's behind the line of scrimmage. Just throw the ball away.
Just throw it away. Absolutely.
Instead of take a 12-yard loss right there, bring down a 3rd and almost 30 here, and they need a scoring drive here.
Glenbard South is a team that they're 2-2 on the road, so they're not exactly the greatest road team in the world. They're 500, so they're coming in a tough atmosphere, and they're shooting themselves in the foot. See what they got here. 3rd and very long. 3rd and 26.
They do got a good 12th man out here from their school, but not helping them. They need some home territory.
Crouch looking, scrambling. He's gonna have to get rid of the football.
You got 5 of them. Wow, we got now.
That's not going to help.
Crouch, he's fine back there. That pass was intended for number 20, Ryan McConville for Glenbard South.
He definitely took a lick at the end of this play.
Here we got the replay.
Guys, really quick, can you talk about that Riverside Brookfield defense? They're coming out here looking outstanding here as they're making their push to the playoffs.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I mean, Casey, we've seen this all season. This D-line from the Bulldogs, they're unstoppable practically. They overpower every offensive line against any opposing team. We've seen that all year. That's definitely agreeable, I believe.
And it's good to see Zach Via back out there. He's going to get some room to run. He's at the 20, trying to find a hole on the outside. 25-30, and look at Zach Via, 35-40. Out on the 44-yard line. There's a flag, though.
Could have been an illegal hit.
Yeah, it looked like right there was a hit by the Bulldogs at the beginning of this return that looked a little less than legal.
And you can see it right here. Right there. Yeah, number 52. That was Riley Shaw for the Bulldogs junior.
Yeah, he's hit on number 33. That's going to bring
Okay, right now, so I'm sorry to cut you off. Actually, right now we're going to throw it to Jacqueline Torreno on the sideline. She's going to have some more updates about the game. Jacqueline, what can you tell us?
Closes out the regular season home schedule for Riverside Brookfield. But in addition to that, it's also a special night here. It's a military night, and stick around for a halftime interview I've got coming up. We're going to do a little bit more in-depth coverage of what military night here means for Riverside High School.
Thank you, Jacqueline. You're doing perfect down there. Thank you so much. We'll be looking at you at halftime. We'll see you around when we're ready to eat, because that's our time at halftime, man. Eric?
Casey, go ahead and finish up that thought you had there.
Yeah, no, just an illegal hit by the Bulldogs. It really sucks to take away a 20, 30-yard Zach Via return, but like they really needed it, 17-0 in the start of the second half.
Absolutely, that's a tough break for them. They're trying to make a play. It goes for Glenbard South, because they need anything here. The referees are discussing that play call. Discussing that penalty.
Now, we could be seeing a very fast run from Del or Via, or, of course, a quick snap from Hunter Hughes. It's unpredictable.
Like I said, this is a really dynamic Riverside Brookfield offense. We've seen it so far. You know, and in fact, I would say Glenbard South is lucky the fact they're only down 17-0 because, you know, this game could be even 24, maybe 26-28-0.
You know, guys, you know, it just struck 8 o'clock. And, you know, this time last night, my heart was crushed. Okay, loyal Cubs fan. And you know what? They were down 7-0 at this time by 8 o'clock. And let me tell you, October's over for the Cubs. And, you know, again, I hate to be selfish and bring them up, but I have to. They just can't go away. I'm looking at the jerseys on the field, and they're just not going away. Bad memories. But I'm sure for Riverside right now, it's all good.
Del Nodell breaks it again. A nice long run, almost a horse collar tackle there by number 41, Graham DeFranco for Glenbard South. That was a nice pickup there for Del Nodell.
Yeah, 20-yard gain. That puts him over the century mark. 6 rushes, 104 yards for Nick.
And of course, they talking about the Cubs 11-1. Casey and I being White Sox fans, we were ecstatic.
I was going to say, Ibrahim, you know, we're over in the west suburbs this time, you know, so definitely a lot of white and black over here.
Not much left.
yeah, you're right about that. Hunter Hughes here looking.
Very quick snap to Stefan Gaminsky.
Yeah, that's his first completion to Stefan, gain of 6, but Stefan's been outshined by Nick Del Nodell all game and Zach Vaya, but it's good to see him get his first completion of the game.
But that's a guy you guys have talked about. Tell us a little bit about him.
Very quick. He used to do all the punt returns and kick returns. We'd see him do a kick return if the Raiders ever have to kick us the ball. So, you know, but very quick, great. You know, you always have to worry about Stefan, but when you have to worry about Nick, Nick's working, so they keep handing off to Nick.
Absolutely. He's been a workhorse back all year for you guys.
Hunter's listening to his coach.
Absolutely. You see him looking to the sideline. Looks like play clock around, delay of game. Moving back 5. Brendan Curtin's out there trying to get the play call to his quarterback, and ran out of time.
You know, and I was just getting ready to say that you can see the defense, or you can see the offensive line and the difference between both teams, because Hunter Hughes looks like he's back there and he has all day to throw. So, I mean, for him, he's going to have a field day as he has already. And you can guarantee if a guy's open, he's going to be able to see him.
We'll bring up 2nd and 8 after the delay of game penalty. Clock's at 15 and counting down. Hughes will get the snap off, drop back.
Open man, Vaya at the 50, scrambling around. Yeah, he stopped right behind the 50.
That was a great deep dig route. You know, he kind of ran that up about 10, 12 yards and cut right in. Great dig route. You can tell those guys have played together for a while. That great connection.
And this is only Zach Via's 2nd year in the varsity squad with Hunter, so and he's back next year. Going to be a great guy for Matt to watch. But Hunter Hughes 3 completions for 66 yards. They're all to that man right there, number 15, Zach Via.
That could be good enough for first down yardage. Bulldogs are driving up around midfield. Toss to Del Nodell. Going to cut through and gain good yards. Oh, wow.
Very strong. Able to get through that D-line.
Hey, guys, I'm going to bring it up again. I know I repeated it, but he's only $165, and you see those weight room numbers coming in right there because he runs tough.
Yeah, he turns this game, just trucks that man right there and gets 3-4 extra more yards for these Bulldogs.
Ibrahim, real quick, a guy who's been quiet for Glenbard South is number 4, Nick DeAndre. We've talked about him, and we haven't seen much from him tonight.
Yeah, for him, it's just been, you can't, unfortunately, you know, if you could, you would get to the quarterback on your own, but when you have an offensive line that's holding up from left to right, from the guard to, you know, to the center, to the right tackle, it's kind of hard to get in there, and that's partially because of Hunter Hughes. He's been able to keep them guessing from the sidelines, from the plate to the sidelines to Hunter Hughes. They've been keeping him guessing, so he can't really get a jump start on a play when, you know, he has no idea what's coming.
Exactly. Yep, it's all unpredictable.
That was number 5, Mark Wilson, the last stop at Glenbard South. We're up 3rd and 4.
Yeah, got the Via brothers on the screen. Zach's at the top of your screen, Jake's at the bottom, and you got Stefan in the slot.
I think that's coming back, and that's 5 yards against Riverside Brookfield.
That might be a false start on the whole front line.
All right, guys, we're going to go down to our frequency sideline reporter, Jacqueline Torreno. She's got some details on the sideline. What's up, JT?
We got a lot of action going on the field right now, but we got a lot going on right here at the sidelines. I'm here with the Little Puppets cheerleaders. They're going to do a special halftime routine for you guys. But at first, they wanted to say and wish the Bulldogs a good luck. So, guys, take it away.
Thanks, JT. You know, that's what you love about the Friday Night Lights, right?
That is awesome. Oh, my God.
Back to action, Hughes with a little bubble screen.
Jake Vaya.
Jake Vaya definitely got first down yardage. Also caught us there, you know, napping a second. You know, we went to the sideline because a nice bubble screen, first down yardage.
Dude, we might need to make a soundboard for this guy. I mean, we just might as well push the button every time because he's on the field and he's always catching the ball.
Brendan Curtin's offense is moving quick. They're back.
Handoff to Stefan. End around. He's at the 37-yard gain for Stefan. He was just trying to get his name on here. He's been outshined by the Vaya brothers out there.
And you guys mentioned Zach Vaya's role as the punt return. You know, at the beginning, it was definitely Stefan Gaminski in the back because of his speed. And when the Bulldogs faced up against ICCP, the previous state champions, they had to switch it up because they constantly kept giving it to Zach Vaya. That ball was given to Nick Del Nodell, and he stopped immediately.
Guys, you talk a little bit about that because you're on this team every day. You know, Riverside Brookfield, up-tempo offense. They're moving right back at the line of scrimmage pretty quick.
Yeah, a lot of no-huddle offense. Just Hunter just looking to the sideline. Brendan calls him to play, and they're going.
Absolutely. And they're back up the line there. It's 3rd and 2. The referees give a signal for the play to Winston. Hughes looking back at goal, looking.
All the time in the world.
Is that going to be picked off, or what's that in the end zone? Looks like I think it's an interception. Interception, Glenbard South. They needed that one.
That's number 11 out there for Glenbard South. Gavin Fitzpatrick, 5'10", 176 pounds, but Stefan Gaminski, he's 5'8" out there, and
that's a disadvantage.
Gavin's 5'10".
Look on the replay here. Yeah.
You know, you can tell it was a good throw if he was the only man standing there. It was in double coverage, and unfortunately, like you said, a disadvantage there, you know, with the height difference. But you know, this is a chance where maybe, you know, some motivation on Glenbard South's side can maybe get him going down the field.
Guys, Hughes doesn't throw a lot of picks, does he?
No, not often.
Not usually.
You know, one every other game.
Glenbard South's got to take advantage of the fact that you have a quarterback that does not turn the ball over often. They'll be driving, and Jack Crouch back out to lead his offense. Looks like a blitz is coming. Give up the middle, and it's not much for number 44, Adam Hashan, for Glenbard South.
At least Adam held on the ball that time.
At least, yeah, he held onto the ball that time. That's it's a key part of the game, right? So.
Of course, Glenbard South, their defense, they're starting to, you know, bring it up on zone coverage, especially down that field, because they know Hunter's going to try getting it down there, especially in the end zone.
You know, growing up as a kid, you know, you have the Brookfield Zoo right across the street, and you know, I used to come down here, but I was never really aware of, you know, Riverside Brookfield and their high school and their athletics, as well as their academics. And you could see with the football program, you know, and as well as all the other athletic programs, you could see that they're really putting it together, and they're getting a lot of fans out here. And you can see, I mean, the student section's up, a lot of the parents are here to watch, and as far as the community, you can really see it's come together, you know, from then till now.
Absolutely, and just a quick note, that was number 10, Mike Paproda, out there on the carry, not for much. That came from short yardage, but we called it out. The Riverside Brookfield program, they got this field, this stadium here, guys, am I correct, last year?
2 years ago.
2 years ago, okay, yeah. So they put a lot of money and effort into this athletic program here.
Looks like it's well worth it so far tonight.
Almost picked off. Yep, that looked like Zach Vaya could have gotten that.
Yeah, it was number 17 out there for the Bulldogs. It was a sophomore brought up to the varsity team that is not listed on the roster right now.
That's high school football for you guys.
It is.
Sometimes you don't have a 17 out here. You guys go to this school.
Yeah, we can call him no name for right now.
You guys see him in the hallways and you catch his name, right?
Yeah. You're the one that almost caught that ball, right?
Right?
You know, I totally expect that coming from the Riverside Brookfield standpoint.
Bring up 4th and 11 for Glenbard South. We're going to have to go and punt the football over Jack Crouch.
Short kick.
Very short kick.
At least he punted it away.
It takes a huge Glenbard bounce. That's going to send him back. Zach Vaya looking, gain some yardage here. He's going to get a decent amount of it back. Up to about the 36-yard line. That took a huge Glenbard South bounce.
And look who was on the stop right there for the Raiders, finally.
Yeah,
His name.
finally call his name. That was number 4, Nick DeAmbro.
He was pretty pumped up to not let Zach Vaya get past midfield right there.
You know, D'Amber's a guy we've talked about in the open. You know, he's a dynamic playmaker. I don't know if you guys got a chance to see him on film. We got a chance to look at him on film last night. Looks a lot like, you know, I hate to put the standard to him. It's a lot like Brian Urlacher out there on the field. You know, he's a guy, he's a dynamic playmaker. And, all right, he's got his name in the stat sheet here. Hunter Hughes back out to the operate the offense, first down. Looking long. He's got his receiver number 9. He's got some good separation.
He wants Via.
Oh, right through the hands.
Yeah. Jake Via seems to be getting some action on the field tonight. We haven't really seen him that much on the field lately throughout the season, but he's definitely getting some passes from Hunter Hughes tonight.
You know, I'm just listening to the sounds of the crowd, and I can hear a lot of people saying beautiful pass because that was right through his hands. And again, it's just Hunter Hughes, man. This guy's a beast when it comes to, you know, letting it loose. He really knows how to place that ball in the receiver's hands where only he could get it.
Yeah.
Talk about the brother Via there for a second, because he got great separation on the play. Is he a guy who doesn't get a lot of playing time? Or?
Yeah, that's Jake Via. He's getting his opportunity because Devin Moody, he's hurt out for the season with a tore ligament in his leg a few weeks ago. But Jake just trying to make the most of it. Got a little unlucky right there, but it's tough trying to make a play over your shoulder.
Yeah, and especially with Jake Via being at 5'10", like I said earlier, wide receiver under 6 foot is a tough position to play.
Just bring it back up to speed there. That was a loss on the play for Riverside Brookfield. They'll be driving second down and 10. Excuse me, second down and 15. My apologies for those of you at home. Second down and 15. Hunter Hughes takes a snap. He's looking. He's going to get pressured here. He's got a completion.
Zach Via right
Zach
there.
Via, number 15. You know that number right now at home, guys, because he's what's that catch him? Catch for number 4 or 5 for him for Via?
That's number 4. 4 catches for 73 yards and a touchdown.
Here we go.
And you also mentioned the new turf that they put in 2 years ago. And for people at home who don't really know what the advantages are with having turf, it's actually easier to maintain, especially in the Midwest, because we get a lot of faulty weather as far as rain, snow, and the heat. So with putting this turf in, it helps out the players on the field as well as being able to maintain it in the off season.
As we have a short break in the action, looks like we're got a water break here. Yeah, I mean, the thing with that turf is it's a very fast surface, so it allows the playmakers like Via, like Del Nodell, you know, like both the brothers Via, to go out there and you know, get good releases and really showcase their speed here, you know. And Ibrahim, you know, we were at Ridgewood 2 weeks ago, and we thought that was, you know, a very nice facility, but Riverside Brookfield, we got to give these guys credit. It's the best facility we've seen all year.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. I mean, and you know what? You could tell by tonight that especially this football program deserves it, because you could tell on every single play that they're going out 100%, and they're not going to cheat you out of any play. So, you know, obviously the score shows that they're up 17 to nothing, and you know, you can't ask for anything more this half out of Hunter Hughes and that offense.
Really quick, guys, can you talk about Riverside Brookfield as they're looking to gain momentum to go into the playoffs and make a deep run, something they haven't been able to do the past 2 years?
And last year they had a early exit. They didn't like that. A few years ago they made it to the Elite 8 quarterfinals for the state of Illinois. But this year they're looking to finish some unsettled business.
Nice punt. High. Got the,
That's taken back by Dominic Rowe for the Bulldogs.
That is you do not need for Glenbard South mental mistakes.
You could see he was actually pointing the finger at one of the players, saying that he was touched, but
well, let's take a look here on the replay and see.
he was pretty close. But let me tell you, in high school, there's no instant replay. Unfortunately, we have the advantage of having that, you know, and taking another look at it. But again, it's just not there for the Raiders today. And it's tough, especially on a Friday night. You prepare all day and all week for it to get up for a game here, and you know, unfortunately, just going the wrong way.
He had a pretty good case. I don't know if maybe. I think he was touched there pretty early, but hey, you know, like you said, no replay in high school football.
Maybe a little too much popcorn before the game.
Absolutely, guys. With that being said, Riverside Brookfield, they're back in in Glenbard territory.
Play action pass.
Hughes has got
that Via.
Yep.
You can call it out by now, number 15, for a gain of about 5 yards in the play.
Maybe you guys can tell me. He's been going to the Via brothers all night. Now, as a wide receiver that aren't the Via brothers, how do you think their mentality is on the field? Because they know they're not getting the ball as much. What do you think that they have to do, or what they're thinking out there in their mentality, when they know most of the time, 90% the time the ball's not coming their way.
Well, usually it comes down to that fourth quarter when you have to be clutch. I mean, that's when the defense really cracks down on the Via brothers and Del Nodell and Kaminsky.
Hunter Hughes on the rollout, you know, looks like gain first down yards at the 20-yard line. Really quick, you guys mentioned there was a receiver who was hurt right now. Who was that guy who's hurt?
Devin Moody, number 11. He's the tallest wide receiver they had out there, 6'2". He was a guy that Hughes loved to go to just because of the height advantage, throw the long ball, but ligament injury, not good.
So to Ibrahim's point, that may be another reason why, you know, the other brother Via is getting some targets, because they've got Moody hurt.
Yeah, and unfortunately for him, he's a senior. Is that right?
Yep.
And so, you know, it's always hard to end your season, especially your senior season. That's the number one, you know, year that you really want to ball out. Unfortunately, he's going to have to, you know, watch the rest of it on the sideline.
But there's a big family connection in the RB Bulldogs football organization, so his presence is still there. He's always helping the team just get better every day.
And we had a quick toss out to Del Nodell, you know, gain off the left side, gain a couple yards. Bring up third down as we have a timeout here for Glenbard South. Let's go and talk about Ryan Chrissy here while we have the opportunity. Ryan Chrissy's a guy who had been with this program for 9 years before he got the opportunity to get the head job. As 33-year-old Chrissy took over in 2015, and he had success immediately, going 6-4 in his first year. Last year, going 5-5, and had a playoff berth last season. He's a 2001 graduate of Glenbard West, so he's an area guy, and you know, he's looking to get his team back in the playoffs now. Unfortunately, they're down 17-0, so it looks like it's going to be up to the high school football gods for his club to get in, but you know, he's done a good job with the program, taking over Jeremy Cordell, who left to take another head coaching job at Lincoln Way Central.
And I believe this is their last year in their respective conference, and I'm not too sure where exactly are they going. If you could find that for me. If not, I mean, they've been playing in this conference for a while now. Now they're going to be switching over to the Metro Suburban Conference next year, to the Upstate 8 Conference. So, again, the competition will change. We may or may not see them back here next year, but at least what they can take away from this game is that you can't let the game go early, or you'll find yourself behind late in the game without an opportunity. And you know, they have a good team. They had a good strategy. I mean, again, they came off in the first play, big gain, you know, off the left side. They were at the 45, and then, you know, right away the defense for Riverside just took over.
And guys, the Bulldogs in the red zone right now, as Casey and I like to call. Hunter scrambling around, quick pass.
Wide open, and Matt, why don't you call it, you know?
That's a whammy touchdown for Via. That's 3 for him tonight.
Zach Via right there, an 8-yard touchdown pass, wide open. Just the speed gives him the edge, wide open, right side of that end zone. But you got to give Hunter a little credit for extending that play, avoiding the sack. Rolling right, Via wide open. 8 yards.
Yeah, you could see on the backside that he noticed he was able to beat out his initial defender, and unfortunately, because of his speed, it's so hard to catch up to him, especially when he gets loose in the open field.
Absolutely, guys, and that'll bring the score to 23-0 here for the home team. And this crowd is as loud as ever, and they're making a lot of noise, and their team gave them a reason to cheer here tonight.
And at this momentum, if the Bulldogs score again, and leading down to the end of the fourth quarter, we could be seeing junior Joseph Shelvin coming in for the Bulldogs. He's a second-string QB, and he's trying to get his way up to being a first-string QB as soon as Hunter Hughes leaves after this year.
We finish that point there, Matt. But really quick, guys, like Riverside Brookfield won 21-7 last year, so this is not indicative of last year's game, but you know, that really is a credit to Brendan Curtin and his team, their off-season training. Hunter Hughes, year 2 as a starter. You know, they've come out and they're really making a statement and going into the playoffs up 24-0.
Yeah, definitely. And as the Bulldogs always do, they early lead before halftime, and then they level off a little bit. But yeah, they love to score 30 points before halftime in the Brendan Curtin offense.
Like my partner Ibrahim was saying, this is Glenbard South's last game as a member of the Metro Suburban. Next year, they'll be joining the Upstate 8 Conference. Not the way they want to go out, but, you know, hey, we got a whole another half to play, and we got to keep fighting.
Yeah, a lot of cross stars on the sideline for the Raiders. A lot of heads down. Just because you don't expect, there we go.
Mental miscues. That's a fumble right there.
Yeah, wow, he is taken down right around the 10-yard line. And that's not good for Glenbard South.
And you know, these Raiders teams, they're watching the sophomores who beat the JV team 8-7. Yeah, definitely a little too much of the concession food over there.
Yeah, we noticed that was a game that came down almost to the last play there, you know, the early game, but they weren't able to transfer that energy, that momentum over to the varsity game. As there's under a minute left for those of you watching at home. It's 58.4 left here from Riverside Brookfield. 24-0 the score, and Jack Crouch is hoping to engineer anything. A lot of miscues, fumbles, and penalties have shot them in the foot.
You know, and regardless of what happens this season for Glenbard South and how it ends, they have a bright future because you've seen, like he said in the sophomore game, they were able to hold the Bulldogs to 7 points and get a win, you know, on the road. So you could tell that their defense has improved as far as sophomores, and then them moving on to the next level, it's going to mesh real well, especially with you know, a defense now that hasn't really got it connected on the same page.
Real quick, we're moving on that last play. Jack Crouch with about a 10-yard gain.
And Jack's doing everything out there for this to not be his last game. He's giving his all.
Yeah, a quick scuffle up there up at about the 35-yard line.
Helmet came off on the play too.
That was number 71 there for Glenbard South. He got his helmet off and he's sprinting off.
And you'll see this happen when you have a team that's down 24-0, frustrated, can't get anything going, you know, in their favor. You get frustrated, and this is going to happen. So, you know, the referees are going to try and make sure that nothing breaks out, because especially if you're Riverside, you got to be smart. You know, you got to know that the other team's frustrated, so you got to make sure that your players don't make any, you know, silly moves, and, you know, make sure they're well behaved out there, because let me tell you, if you act up now, the playoffs are in a week, and you don't want to be on the sideline while your team's out there playing.
Really quick, you know, just to piggyback off your point, we saw that 2 weeks ago at Ridgewood. We saw a superstar player in Marco Vitali, who's a stud receiver, a guy who's a team captain, actually get into a fight at the end of the game there. So you don't want to see that. So hopefully Riverside Brookfield can contain their composure and take it at halftime.
Now, guys, defensively and offensively for the Bulldogs, going into the playoffs, would you say they have to change anything at all, or would you say if it ain't broke, don't fix it?
I'll let Ibrahim take a crack at that first.
Look, that was basically the perfect question right now, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I mean, if you're wearing a nice tie and you wake up in the morning, you pick it up, and you know, you may need to change the next day. Don't get me wrong, but if you're looking good, there's nothing to fix, and Riverside is looking good. So I think right now on both sides of the ball, they've been playing well. You know, they're going to have to make some adjustments, obviously, depending on you know, the teams that they're facing. But if it ain't broke, don't fix it, because if you fix it, it will be broke.
Yep.
That was on that last pass. That was a Jack Crouch pass, and then number 14, Jacob Colby, was incomplete. Just really quick, you know, to piggyback off your guys' question, you know, I'm coming from Florida and seen a lot of Florida high school football, and you know, my days as a collegiate athlete down there, you know, at Stetson University in Florida, you know, as a football player. Riverside Brookfield looks phenomenal. You know, one of the things that you want to do is play your best, most sound football going to the playoffs, and they're doing that. You don't see a lot of mistakes. We had the one the one delay of game that, you know, Brendan Curtin and the quarterback had the miscue there. But other than that, the defense looks phenomenal, and that's why, you know, I'll piggyback. I'll throw it to you guys. Can they make a deep run in the playoffs? Because they look great here. It's our first time seeing them.
Yeah, well, they played a game against the former state champs, the reigning state champs, a few weeks ago, and they got shut out 45-0. And that was a wake-up call for these Bulldogs, as we see Jack Crouch's longest throw of the day, 24 yards right there.
And that's to number 30, who we do not have a number on for Glenbard South. So that's another guy we'll have to track down. I'm coming to Glenbard South next Monday to figure out who you are there. But a nice gain. As the clock is running, they'll call timeout with, excuse me, they will not call timeout. The clock is running. I apologize.
Maybe looking deep here. We're going to test his arm.
Very deep throw, way overthrown.
Yeah, that was Nick Del Nodell on the coverage. So he plays both sides of the field, as does Stefan and Zach Vaya.
That was Crouch showing off his gun there, you know, a little too long, but he's trying to do everything for his team. You know, he's hanging in there, and you like to see that fight from the quarterback.
Bulldogs defense doing perfect on that zone coverage, especially if that ball had gotten to where Del Nodell was covering. I don't know if it would have been good at all for Glenbard South, because that could have been a pick six, knowing Nick Del Nodell.
Yeah, so right now 24-0, and it's reminding me of last night's Cubs game right now.
That's a shot at your Cubs, Ibrahim.
You know what? They've been taking shots at everyone in blue tonight. And it's not shocking that they, made their concessions comments for Glenbard South, because they do look like they ate too much before the game. And, as for the Cubs, there's always last year. There's always last year, 2017.
We've got a stoppage in the action here with 6.4 seconds left in the game. And we have guys, really quick, it's military night here at Riverside Brookfield. And, you like to see that. You like to see the real heroes get honored here. And, it's nice that they'll have their time before game and during halftime as well, where the cheerleaders were performing, and they'll honor the military members who are in attendance here.
Yeah, and you actually have Jacqueline Toronto with that at halftime, so we'll be able to dive deeper into that story at the half. She does a great job, so I'm sure, these, like you said, they are heroes, and we wouldn't be here if it was not for them.
Nothing more exciting than the good old Hail Mary in high school football.
Right, let's see, Crouch should show off a nice arm there, on that play, and he's going to be coming out from about the 46-yard line there, so we'll see if he can get it down to the end zone. Crouch back in the gun, 5 receivers. Oh, excuse me, that is not Jack Crouch. That is number 28, looking long for Glenbard South. Oh. And it's almost picked off on the throw there. That was 28. We have a number for 28 there for Glenbard South. But that will bring us to halftime. Our halftime score: Riverside Brookfield 24, Glenbard South 0. That will take us to halftime. Gets down to the halftime festivities. Here, you're watching Frequency Sports here on Frequency TV.
Progressive rock of the 70s, followed by a tribute to our nation's military personnel.
Detail, present, arms, 1, 2, 3. Return, arms, 1, 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, the Army Marching Band will pay tribute to all military personnel. Would any veteran, current soldier, or family member of a veteran or current soldier please rise when your branch's military anthem is performed? The United States Army. The United States Navy. We'd like to thank all current and former members of the military with us tonight for your service to our country. We'd also like to thank those who cannot be here with us tonight, those who are off in distant lands protecting our freedom, or those who sacrifice their all for our freedom. Riverside Brookfield High School sends our sincere thanks to all military personnel.
What a great tribute you just saw behind me. We've got the Riverside Brookfield Marching Band paying tribute to the men and women who serve and protect us. Right now I'm on the sidelines here with Sandy Shaika. She's not only a teacher at Riverside Brookfield, but she was also in charge of kind of everything going on tonight. So thanks for doing that. But can you tell us a little bit just about what's going on tonight and also throughout the week, this past week?
Sure. So tonight we just really wanted to show that Riverside Brookfield really cares about our veterans. We started this in 2014, had a break in 2015 when our field was under construction and picked up again last year. This week we did some, the football players sold wristbands that had Bulldog Brigade and Honor, Duty, and Country on them. The cheerleaders at the games sold yellow ribbons. The teachers and faculty and staff all pitched in, and we had Red, White, and Jean Day on Wednesday, and they all donated money to wear jeans on Wednesday. And then we also have Split the Pot going on and some personal donations. So it's been really exciting, a full community event.
Very awesome that you have all the athletes involved. As far as the whole student body goes, how involved are they in the week as far as participating in events, participating in fundraisers?
Well, as you saw, our entire band learned all the military anthems, and that's a huge part of our student body. Our Best Buddies group is actually also making a donation, and all the kids today dressed with red, white, and blue theme to kind of get ready for the game or camouflage something military. So it's been really exciting because the kids were really the ones buying the wristbands and getting involved, and I think having the band and the football team and the cheerleaders and so many other groups excited about it made a big difference. The money goes to Hines VA Hospital, and a lot of our kids have grandparents or parents who use that, so we were really excited to keep the money in the community as well.
And just how important are nights like these throughout the school year?
Well, I think these are really important because it's really the way our kids get to know the importance of our military and to have respect and pride for our country. And so if we help the students have fun with it and really get excited about it, I think they're going to be better citizens in the long run.
Thanks so much, Sandy. Again, all the proceeds from this week and tonight went to Edward Hines Jr. Veterans Hospital. Great night here, a great turnout, so I know you're excited and happy. So thanks so much for joining us. Thank you. Reporting live for Frequency Sports, I'm Jacqueline Trento. Hey guys, Jacqueline Trento here on the sidelines after an awesome halftime routine by these guys right here. Tell me your names real quick.
Angelina, Maddie.
What was your favorite part about performing out there on the field?
Being with my friends. Same thing.
And how long have you guys been cheerleaders for?
Well, I just started a year ago, but I'm a dancer. Today.
And what school do you guys go to?
Brook Park. Brook Park.
So what grade are you guys in right now?
She's in 5th. I'm in 4th.
Cool. So do you guys get to do this a lot? Do you guys get to perform out on the field at all?
No, but like me and her, we don't like she did this last year. This is my first year.
Well, that is awesome. So definitely going to be back to do it again, right?
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much.
Bye. Bye.
Awesome. We've got more coming up. We got an awesome game going on. Riverside Brookfield is in charge and taking command. We're going to throw it back up to the booth where Ibrahim and Eric will be calling the plays.
You know, thanks JT. We had a pretty exciting first half here. You know, it's been all Riverside Brookfield. You got some highlights that are coming up for you. We're going to bring the guys in Riverside Brookfield here and take a look at these highlights. What do you see out here?
We see a lot of Nick Dunn brothers out there just making plays, and a lot of well, we're not right there, but the defense has been strong for the Bulldogs. Besides that first 75-yard run, you know, a lot of guys. Zach Vaya, 6 catches, 86 yards and 2 touchdowns. Nick Dunn, 10 carries, 114 yards and a touchdown.
And on that carry there, that was Drew Vaza, but for the rare highlight there for Glenbard South in the first half. But highlights have been a lot of Riverside Brookfield. You know, go ahead and jump in here and we'll see what you got.
Yeah, and especially, you know, they show Glenbard South, but it shows how they tried to break away. There's a nice sack by Dominic Rowe, number 44 for the Bulldogs, but it shows a little bit of Glenbard South trying to get away on the field and how they can't capitalize on points. And, you know, we see a lot of course, Zach Vaya getting the ball in the punt return. Don't really see him throughout the season at the punt return, especially with Stefan Gaminsky being back there.
You saw that punt there, almost a block in the back. It looked like a second block in the back by 16 right there. Refs didn't catch it, but hey, like you said, we got that home cooking. It's been all Riverside Brookfield, and all the breaks have gone their way.
Yeah, and this Jack Crouch, we've seen him more as the punter than more of the quarterback tonight. He's had 5 or 6 punts, and he does not want this to be his final game.
Absolutely. Talk about Nick Donadell, because we've seen a lot of him tonight. They just saw him on that carry.
Yeah, his first rush of the entire game from the offense, 1 carry, 75 yards. Started off the game with a bang for the Bulldogs. Leveled off a little bit. He's got 10 carries, 114 yards, and the touchdown. But it seems like lately the Raiders have been able to contain him to less than 10-yard rushes.
Absolutely. All in all here, you know, we've had a very action-packed first half. A lot of Riverside Brookfield. Ibrahim, you want to jump in here real quick?
Yeah, you know, we really want to start talking about what we're looking to get out of both teams here in the second half. What do you want to see? And now I'll take the Glenbard side perspective. And what you want to see out of them, you know, the game it's 24-0 coming out of the halftime, but you want to see them still fight. They've had actually a longer half than usual to really talk things over and get some of that, you know, fatigue you know, out of their system. So hopefully you could see them come out aggressive, but not in a way that could hurt them. And that's what happened in the first half. Obviously for Riverside, you guys probably could agree with me. They just have to do the same thing and, you know, hopefully contain, you know, the ball most of the time. You know, it's all about ball movement as far and time of possession. Time of possession has been key, and they've had the ball for most of the half here. So, you know, again, both teams, they've done a good job of trying to do, you know, try to get their game plans down. And for Glenbard South, hopefully they can get something together and maybe put up a score by the time this game is over.
You know, talk about Hunter Hughes. He's a guy who doesn't get as much recognition as other area quarterbacks, but he's really invaluable to RB's success. And you got his numbers here at halftime. You know, 8 completions for 104 yards and 2 TDs. You know, it's a guy he's a solid leader, solid competitor. You got to like what you see in him. And like we said, he's a winner. 13-4 since taking over. Complete over 70% of his passes. So he's a great playmaker there, guys.
Welcome back to the Kenley Athletic Complex. We're here in Brookfield, Illinois.
Guys, we're back here at the Kenley Athletic Conference. Sorry about that, guys. We're back here. It's a score of 24-0 as we come back from halftime. Riverside Brookfield, they're getting pretty pumped up, guys. And we're going to bring in the Riverside Brookfield announcers. And this is indicative of what you guys have seen all year, guys, right?
Yeah, of course. I'm Casey Vleta alongside Matt Angio. And this first half has been nothing different than a first half any other day here in Brookfield, and the Bulldogs just scoring early, scoring often, and never taking their foot off the gas pedal.
Yeah, and Casey, this is what we like to call a walk in the park, and we've been seeing a walk in the park throughout the whole season. And especially with Hunter Hughes, he comes out strong in the first half. We've always seen that. Nick Delnadell and Zach Vaya, that's his key weapon.
And Ibrahim, from the Glenbard South perspective, what is it they can do? They've had virtually nothing. Their star playmaker, Nick D'Ambra, has not been able to shut down anything on offense. And Jack Crouch, he's fighting out there. You got to give him credit. He's a leader. He's fighting, trying to help his team out. But what can he do to kind of get his guys back in it?
He can't do it by himself. And again, this is why it's a team sport. So far they've wet the bed. Let's be honest. Let's say it how it is. They've wet the bed so far on defense and offense. And part of having a good defense is also countering with a good offense that could keep you off the field and can catch your breath. And unfortunately they've been out there more times than the offense has and longer. And hopefully, again, they can grasp this time of possession and get back on track.
And here's the first opportunity for the special teams at RB, and that's Stefan Kaminski. He get out to the 30 before being brought back to it on the 25-yard line.
And coming out here for Riverside Brookfield, Brendan Curtin's called a masterful game as an offensive coordinator and as a head coach. And I think it'd be key if them to slow down the tempo, go and work the clock. They're up 24 points. You don't want to take your foot off the gas pedal, but they really have control of this game.
Yeah, it's their game to lose right now, and with seeing what we saw in the first half, it doesn't look like much is going to change.
It looks like Hunter Hughes, they had him start the second half. Like you said, you might bring in the backup if this does get out of reach even more. So I think for Riverside, this is actually a good thing that you're up this much, just so you can see what you can get out of the guys that are behind the starters. You want to see before playoff time who could step up in case someone goes down.
Yep.
And right now this is a perfect situation for them to really test that.
That was Nick Dodell on the last carry there. He's going to get the carry again. He's got some yardage here, going up to about the 40-yard line, but some launches on the field that may be coming back. You're almost at a point here, guys, where you don't want to say that this game is wrapped up, but Riverside Brookfield, they look phenomenal heading into the playoffs. You don't want to have any injuries. The last game we were at, we saw a young running back, Zach Rodriguez for Ridgewood, get injured. About 3 minutes left in the game when that game was very much in hand. So it's you don't want to say they have the game totally in hand, but you also don't want to maybe consider bringing some of your guys out because you don't want to have any injuries either.
Yeah, I mean, it's both good and bad to be up by so much before a playoff appearance. You come up so much with momentum. That's the pro of being up by so much. And the con is that, if you're going up against a team that's not going to play like Glenbard South tonight, you're going to have a disadvantage, and you're going to mistake them. You're going to be deceived.
Absolutely. It's a second down and 15 on the play, and Glenbard South, they desperately need a stop here. Hunter Hughes dropping back to throw and he's looking. Now he's looking to take off, use his wheels. He's going to keep going up to about the 30-yard line, 35, 37-yard line for Hughes, and he showed his wheels there. He can really take off and make a play.
Very nice run.
Yeah, 13-yard run right there for Hunter. He's a dual threat quarterback, guys, and Glenbard South's got to realize that. They got another thing to put on their list of things to get scared about for this game.
Absolutely. I will say this, going into the playoffs, I think, Hughes, if he can maintain this level of play, they'll be able to make that deep playoff run that they're looking for, maybe get back to the Elite Eight and maybe further.
Love to see that, especially Hunter.
On the I carried there to Nick Dodell. That was kind of what we like to call in football kind of a belly play, fake left, go right, and pick up a couple yards there.
And Casey, you can agree with me on this for the Bulldogs defense. We haven't seen much from Anthony Walsh, number 56. We do see a lot from him in the season, and we see how good of a defensive player he is. But tonight we have not really seen much of him.
We've seen a lot of Jeff Bills, but it's a lot of just switching back and forth. It's just Jeff's night.
Yeah, I mean, Jeff, especially at the beginning of the game.
It's a really good insight from you guys. And Hughes either on the little dump off. They're going to pick up first down yardage. Yeah, that's going to pick up first down, but we got a flag from way in the backfield. That's a flag. I don't know if that's a face mask coming in or something, but that flag was thrown.
And that was number 17 with a catch, another sophomore brought up by Brandon Curtin to play in this varsity game.
As Brendan Curtin certainly, kind of tricked us a little bit. Hey, I'll make these guys work for it, here, not have a couple names, but that's a nice reception there for number 17.
We talked about Jack Crouch getting some people looking at him possibly playing college, after high school. And I don't know, maybe you guys could tell me, is there any plan for Hunter Hughes post high school, because obviously he's a senior now. He's been playing really well, and he's been out playing Jack Crouch. So is there any plans for him post high school?
He's being looked at by a few colleges, but Hunter's just trying to focus primarily on this season and trying to get into a deep playoff run and put some hardware on the walls of RB.
Absolutely, that's the right mentality for a quarterback. Those things will come. When you play well, those things will come. He was looking back to throw in a little bubble screen there. It is incomplete. But yeah, just to piggyback off that point there, Ibrahim, when you're a quarterback of a winning team, you will get attention. And he's a great athlete. He's listed at about 6 foot, about 180 pounds for Hunter Hughes. 6 foot 170. So he's got good size. At the next level, he might not be a quarterback. Maybe he's a defensive back. But I think there's room for him there in this D1, D2, D3. But just focus on this season and the rest will fall into place. Third and long here for Riverside Brookfield.
Yeah, but Hunter's got an arm, so never is too far.
Absolutely. We've seen it here tonight. He's looking to show that arm off again, but he's going to be sacked.
Ooh, first time tonight.
Yeah, first time tonight that pressure's been brought.
That was by number 23, John Madison, for Glenbard South.
John Madison's a nice-sized defensive lineman there, as you're going to see on the replay. He's going to get Hughes around. He's not getting out of that grasp right there. He's a good-sized D lineman, 6 foot, 202 pounds. Class of 2019, so he's got a couple years left to develop. I'd like to see that frame in 2 more years, see what he's looking like.
Yeah, the last time we saw a little momentum from this Glenbard South defense, the offense were on the field, fumbled on the first play.
Absolutely. So, it's key to them. If they're going to have any hopes of getting back in this ball game, they've got to stay consistent, cut out the mental mistakes. 4th down and 20 here. And there will be a punt. Yeah, there we go. Got the rugby-style kick. Get away from it. We'll take a Riverside Brookfield bounce and bounce down to about the 36-yard line, where it'll be down.
With that style, sometimes you're just looking at him about to kick it to punt it, and sometimes you're just not sure if he is, because it's just a real awkward style. So, you almost want to call it, he's running on the right side and going for it, but. That's some things that you'll see in high school, just because you don't have your traditional punters that you see maybe in college or in the pros. So, again, you got to do what you can do to move the ball back into their own 30-yard line.
And let's go and talk about Glenbard South for a minute as they try to take over Crouch, with the play action fake, and he's looking. It's going to be picked off by Stefan Yaminski, guys.
Yeah, he's got quite the hands, and look at Stefan. He wants it. 25, he's still up.
Wow, look at that balance.
Guys, we talked about it at the outset of that drive right there. No more mental mistakes. They come right out. Jack Crouch trying to make too much for his team and made a bad throw. You can't fault him for effort, but that wasn't a good throw.
Yeah, that was again on the first play after a good defensive stand. So you were right. They are staying consistent.
Yeah, absolutely. And just a quick note on Glenbard South that I was going to get into as they've just ended that drive. But this is a team that had won 5 straight games. So they had a lot of momentum before they lost to IC Catholic last week, 51-14. Sometimes those are the breaks. You hit that hot streak, and then after a tough loss like that, they're not rebounding well here tonight. Give us a Del Nodell, and he's moving again. Take that to about the 14-yard line.
I'll tell you who's pumped more than anyone, the bench of Riverside. Look, you could just take a look at them, and they're just ready to go. And look, I was a bench player up until senior year, okay? And when you see your team up 24-0 and possibly going to score again, your eyes light up, because your time is coming. And the closer it comes, the more you're ready for it. And I think this bench is proven. You've seen some sophomores have been brought up, some juniors, have had some highlights in this offense. So when you're a bench player and your time is reaching, you really want to make the most of it. And I think some of these players are going to be able to have a chance tonight to do that.
Yeah, especially second-string quarterback, like I mentioned earlier, Joe Shelvin. A way to get some, experience under him before he is given the full reign going on.
Yeah, at halftime we just saw the future of the RB Pupettes, and I'm very eager to see the future of these RB Bulldogs football team.
Hey guys, would it possibly be possible?
And you got the usual defensive lineup, offensive lineup. Hunter Hughes out there, of course. Del Nodell, Zach Vaya, Stefan Gaminski.
They got 8 and some change left in this third quarter. Play 24-0 in favor of the home RB Bulldogs. Beautiful October 20th here, Kennelly Athletic Complex.
And that ominous Bulldogs offensive line.
Ominous. That's definitely the word I would use. Is Hughes dropping back, looking. He's going to get pressured now, and he'll dump it out to Nodell. Oh, looked like almost a backwards pass, but he's going to call it incomplete here. Bring up third down. He had him open. Nodell just couldn't hang on to him. Is he a guy who typically has good hands coming out of the backfield?
Very good hands. You usually don't see that at all coming from Nick Del Nodell.
Yeah, he never fumbles. He normally won't get those little screen passes. That's not really in Brendan Kerner's repertoire, but we get the replay of Stefan Kaminsky. He's got great hands. Hasn't been able to show it on the offensive side tonight. 1 catch for 7 yards, but he made up for it, put his name on the stat sheet.
And he'll bring up third down as Hughes be looking to punch this one in. On that same counter play to Nodell. He's breaking off. He's looking for the end zone. He got the look for the end zone. It's a touchdown, Riverside, Brookfield, Bulldogs. Nodell. He's having a heck of a ball game here tonight. We got his updated stats now at 14 carries for 136 yards and 2 touchdowns. Guys, what do you see on that counter play?
Just a great blocking from that offensive line who never gets enough credit. Never enough credit given to the guys who are every single play giving all their effort to just protect Hunter, protect Nick.
Yeah, and that field vision that Del Nodell has, that what I'd like to call field IQ. You know, what to do when you see a player coming on your left or on your right, and he's got that perfectly straight down to a perfect form.
As the extra point is up and good. But you made a great point there. And I actually noticed this when I watched film on him last night. He has great running back awareness. He's a guy he's a one-cut guy. He's not looking to bounce around too much in the backfield. But when he finds his hole, he identifies it, he hits it, and he uses that speed to his advantage. Put points on the board right there. He's got nose for the end zone. D-Green, what'd you see down there?
I seen the guy with his feet on fire. I mean, they get an open gap and they take it. It's just been a common denominator today, and give credit, like you said, to the offensive line. They haven't gotten enough credit tonight. A lot of it shining, against the Vitale brothers, the brothers down there, and Hunter Hughes. But this offensive line, I mean, they've done a heck of a job.
I'm going to go ahead and make an old school reference here. That's like an NFL Street throwback Madden right there. When Del Nodell gets the ball, his legs are on fire, and he's just taking off to the end zone, and he's had a heck of a ball game here tonight. And Brendan Curtin, once again, just to talk about the job here he's done. He really turned around this program. He replaced Jason Rake 6 years ago. Rake went 6-12 in his 2 seasons at Riverside Brookfield, and the team had not made the playoffs. And Brendan Curtin has done a phenomenal job in here tonight.
And there's the kick. Number 12. He goes up past the 20. Right off to the sidelines.
We're going to toss it down to our girl on the sideline, Jacqueline Torreno.
In the stands, what is a football team without its school spirit behind me? I've got a few students with me. Tell me your name.
I'm Allie.
And what grade are you in?
I'm a senior.
How important to you is to come to football games and to show your school pride?
Every Friday night, it's got to be done.
Do you have a favorite player out there on the field right now?
My boyfriend, yes.
Is he doing
number 15? Scored 2 touchdowns.
Perfect. Well, love the school spirit here. Give me a great Go Bulldogs right now.
Thank you, JT. You love to see that action down there on the sidelines, and those fans are pumped up, and Riverside Brookfield is giving them a lot to be excited for, as that carry there was by number 4, Nick D'Ambra.
Yeah, she's definitely she might be having a little bit too much fun down there. I don't know.
And what a coincidence that Jacqueline finds the man of the hour, the man of the night, Zach Vaya.
How about that? Yeah, that's our girl, JT. She does a great job down there. Good job, Jackie. Bring them 2nd and 6 here after that D'Ambra carry. Glenbard South trying to get on the board here, at least capitalize something. Crouch is looking, and he's got his man open with room to run. He's going to get up to about the 37-yard line there for his man. Nice completion for Crouch.
That's Crouch's 4th completion. He's got 4 completions for only 61 yards, being outshined by Hunter in all aspects of today's game, but he's the life and the heart of this Glenbard South team, so you don't give him enough credit there.
And he's been outshined, but it's not for lack of effort, because he's trying to do everything out there for his ball club.
Yeah, it's a team sport, and the team's in essence just been letting him down tonight.
Absolutely. And then, like you said, when it's 31-0, it's not just one man. It's its entire team.
Yeah.
As the give will be to number 33, Drew Voza, there for Glenbard South. Not much.
Drew's really leveled off after that 36-yard carry to lead off the game.
just to piggyback on, Jackie's interview, that's what Friday Night Lights is all about. You guys go here. I was telling Ibrahim earlier, I'd give anything for one more carry, to run down there and kind of represent my school and my community, and that's what it's all about down there. Piggyback and find that enthusiasm and that excitement that it brings Friday nights in a community.
Great 12th man section, great just fan section for this RB community, yeah.
Absolutely. It's a beautiful complex here at Riverside Brookfield. On the way in, I had a chance to kind of tour the area there as Crouch can find his man. Number 4, that's Nick D'Ambra, and he was laid out there on that hit. But, just piggybacking off that point, I had a chance to look at the kind of Riverside Brookfield area here coming in, and it's a really beautiful community. Us coming from the city, you don't have a chance to really get out here to the west suburbs, and it's really nice in here. It's great to have this great football team to cheer on Friday nights.
And you guys mentioned earlier RBHS academics. Statistically, the varsity team for the Bulldogs average around a 3.3 GPA, and the community and the school especially likes to promote that out and say the team likes to keep those grades up as a big tackle on the field.
It's a big-time hit by number 22, Joey Quariano for Riverside Brookfield. It looked like a helmet hit, but...
Yeah, but Matt, how would you describe that Joey Quariano tackle right there?
I could say that was a wham-tastic tackle.
Look at that. On the replay, slow motion, just great.
Wham-tastic tackle. I like that one. They're hard hitting down there. They're still flying around trying to make plays. Bring up 4th down, and Glenbard South will have to punt the football back to Riverside Brookfield. Via's back deep. Jack Crouch, will punt the ball again, that rugby style. Is he going to punt it? Yeah,
I'm telling you.
He's going to punt it.
I am telling you,
it's tricky.
They're looking for it. They're looking to take. They're basically looking to see what's in front of them, and then if it's not there, they're gonna punt the ball away. I mean, you got to think at this point. I mean, they're down 31-0. You have to be thinking going forward or some type of trickery, just to get some motivation. The game is most likely out of reach, but you just can only do what you can do out there, and that's something that they're looking for.
Yeah, would you say it's something that you have nothing to lose at this point?
Yep.
You might as well. But yet again, you don't want that lead to get bigger and bigger.
You have nothing to lose, but at the same point in time, there's still pride. You don't want to get my old coach used to say, respect the game. You don't try to, if you're down 31-0, start running quadruple reverses just to try to, pull anything out, out of the back of the playbook. You still want to respect the game here and not try anything.
Well, they do have the opportunity to lose their playoff spot because the board's going to be looking at this tomorrow and trying to decide what 5 and 4 teams are worthy of a playoff spot. So they need to try to make this score look a little less lopsided.
That's a good point, Casey. Just bring that up, put things in perspective here. Remember, Glenbard South coming into this ball game had a chance to come on the road and really make a statement by clinching their playoff berth here tonight against a very good Riverside team. Does not look like they're going to get that job done tonight. And Ibrahim, even though they may be down 31-0, they need to put out a showing that says, hey, we are a playoff team and we're worthy for the board to select us.
Yeah, you know what? One time I was down 40, but that was basketball, a little bit different. Not a collision sport, more of a contact sport. But, when you find yourself down this big, you just want to see what you could do well on and try to focus on it in the end of the game, because you still want to be able to take a positive out of this game and be able to execute something. And for, the Raiders, they're going to have to try to do, anything they can to try to put up some points just for his fact alone is that they don't want to see themselves sitting at home because of a score that was very outfetched, and you just hope that they could somehow put some points up.
As he was looking on 3rd down, looking to make a completion here, number 1, Stefan Yaminski. He's not going to get much.
He squeezed that
swallowed up there. Yeah, go ahead. Nice catch, guys.
Yeah, Stefan Gminski got completely swallowed up on that play. And like you guys were saying, I definitely agree that Glenbard South has to get on the board. If they want to set some kind of example, yeah, they have to show that. I mean, they have a little bit of pride and a little bit of juice left in the tank. And, throughout the game, we have seen the Bulldogs, they were coming out strong. Glenbard South kind of, tuggling with them a little bit, slowing them down, but you could see in the second quarter, Bulldogs slowed down a little bit. They were getting a little bit more tired, and the defense for Glenbard South was stepping up a bit as Stefan Gminski punts it down the field.
Well, if they do end up making the playoffs, it's all on the shoulders of Jack Crouch for just his 110% effort. He is the team, especially tonight as you've seen it. He is just this Glenbard South team.
And that's the thing. That's been part of the success and part of the problem. Because he's had to have such a heavy workload, it's hard to balance all those things together and be able to come out with a win here. So hopefully they could do it on all facets and not have to lean on him too much. But again, they probably will end up having to, just because there's not really much to work with.
And just to piggyback on that point about Jack Crouch, he and defensive star Nick D'Ambra, they've played football together since Little League. So this is not the way they want to go out. Both of them are seniors. It's not necessarily the way they want to go out. If this is, in fact, their last football game putting on that uniform, it's tough for those guys. This Crouch is going to take the carry, and that's another, I don't miss that hitting down there. That's another hit down there by number 22, Joey Coriano for Riverside Brookfield.
Sometimes you just got to tuck your head down and run.
Yeah, absolutely. There's nothing more you can do with that. But yeah, just to piggyback there, with Crouch and D'Ambra, this is not the way you want to go out. You and I, we've long gone, reached the end of our high school careers. These guys, still have a couple years left. But there's no feeling like an athlete when, you walk off that field for the last time and that's it.
It's such a heck of a time. I remember back at senior night, probably one of my worst nights ever as an athlete, just because I was trying so hard to do so well, and that actually backfired. I actually ended up fouling out with only playing, 2 minutes. That's how hard I was playing, and I was more of a defensive type of guy. So when I found myself, I was actually, fouled out of the game, and it was the second quarter. And who's standing across the gym, yelling and screaming? That was my brother, and he ended up getting tossed out of the game as well. So it was like a double whammy, as he likes to say. I found myself out the game. My brother found himself out the game. So you want to play well, and and they're well aware that this may be their last game. So sometimes that does backfire, but hopefully again they could find something positive to take out of this one.
Here we go, a handoff to Drew Vaza, and he is just taken down by the defensive line, who's just been pressuring this Glenbard South offense all night.
Yeah, and I believe Glenbard South had somewhat of a win stretch going on, and I think that's what's making them lose tonight. They got, that momentum going on, and then once they get hit by that O-line and D-line by the Bulldogs, they immediately just got hit by a brick wall.
Yeah, just pick up what you said. They had a 5-game winning streak going on before they lost to IC Catholic last week. Yeah, they destroyed them. They got killed last week, 51-14. So that was a tough loss for Glenbard South, and they're not looking much better here tonight on that punt by Jack Crouch. Going to be taken.
Here's Zach Vi going upfield.
Making move to the 50, making move to the 40. It's a heck of a punt return right there by Zach Vi. He's been a great playmaker, coming in, making plays all night.
Dude, a lot of these guys are probably looking for a third long out there, because I don't know how they're going to be out there the rest of the night. I mean, they still got a whole quarter left. And they're down 31-0, and they're going to be chasing Zach Via. Well, they've been chasing him all night, and it seems like they just can't catch up to him.
To finish up that point, about guys playing their last game, we don't know about Jack Crouch's future, but Nick D'Ambra does have a future in college. He's getting a lot of college attention. I'm going to run off some names here really quick. NIU, North Dakota State, Western Michigan, Illinois State. So he's getting a lot of college attention. So this won't be his last football game, but it'll be his last one in Glenbard South, and that's tough. You have pride in your high school, and that's tough for him. As they have a short game there on the carry.
That wasn't Nick Delno out there. His night might be over. That was number 24 for the Bulldogs out there. And as Brandon Kernan would have it, we do not have his name.
All right, and coming into the end of the quarter here, we're going to have our girl Jacqueline Torreno down on the sideline. She's going to have some information coming up as we're coming to the end of the third quarter with a score of 31-0. JT, what you got down there on the sideline?
I'm here on the sidelines right now with Doug Whiting. He's here for military night. So can you tell us a little bit about your time in the service?
I was drafted in 1969. I lived in Kalamazoo, Michigan at the time. And I took basic training at Fort Knox. I took MP school at Fort Gordon, Georgia. And then I was shipped over to Vietnam, where I served for a year as a military policeman in Vietnam. After that, I went to Fort Monroe in Virginia, where I finished up my tour of 2 years as MP at Fort Monroe.
Can you tell us a little bit about what nights like this, a military night here at Riverside Brookfield High School, what nights like that mean to you?
Riverside Brookfield is very, very good with veterans. They have not only military night here for football, which is really a special night for us veterans. They kind of recognize us. But on Veterans Day, they actually do a real great assembly program where about 80 veterans come and they serve us breakfast. They have a nice program that they put on in the main gym, and then we get to go talk to students in the classroom. Usually 1 or 2 veterans go to a classroom, and for 40 minutes we get to talk to the students, tell them about our experience, and answer any questions that the students have.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. We certainly appreciate your service and hope you're enjoying a great night of football. The Bulldogs are definitely winning. We're going to take it back up to you guys in the booth for the call.
No worries. No worries, JT. Thank you. That was, I mean, you really want to see that, that kind of military appreciation. So we can certainly sacrifice a player or two, up here on the broadcast to let that gentleman get his recognition up here. We had a reception up and taken down into the red zone for Riverside Brookfield, coming in about the 20-yard line.
Yeah, Hunter's still slinging the ball out there. 12 completions, 138 yards.
And
there's a little bit of that halfback pitch that I mentioned earlier. We don't see that throughout the season, but they finally got one off, and that will bring them closer within the red zone.
And like you guys said, there's Brendan Curtin, emptying his bench, kind of getting Nick Nodell out of the game to kind of prevent a potential injury like we talked about earlier. So I don't have a name for number 24, but number 24, you're getting your shot out here on TV. You're doing a great job running the ball. Ibrahim, this was time, for guys like you and I to, get in the ball game,
Hey, man, they could throw me in whenever they want. I'm just letting them know that, they got my number. We got 3 broadcasters in the booth. Let me tell you, they can throw me out there.
It comes into question how much longer Brandon Kernan's going to have Hunter Hughes stay out there. Before playoffs, we had that incident at Ridgewood. You don't want to see anything like that out here.
Absolutely, Matt. You talked about the backup QB. Do you have his name who could get a shot to play tonight?
Yeah, Joseph Sheldon. Around this time, especially with this lead, we usually see him warming up on the sidelines with someone else, but that could be later on, maybe around 6 minutes, half of the quarter, so it would be good to see him, especially get some experience before the playoffs.
We'll keep an eye out for that as number 24. Sorry, buddy. Wish we had your name, but, you're toting the rock out there doing the best you can. He's gained a couple yards on the play. Bring him 4th down.
Hey, give him some love. I used to be that guy. Come on now. We need to work some magic. Maybe yell at a few guys on the sideline. We need to get this man's name, because if he scores, you better be ready, Eric.
Yeah, hey, I'm going to shout him out. Number 24. He's coming up the sideline now, but I'm going to shout so loud he can hear me down here on the sideline. Get his recognition right down there. So, Riverside Brookfield is coming out for a field goal attempt. If they make this kick, it'll put them up at 34-0.
That was a flag.
And that
might be encroachment.
Yeah,
or a false start.
That would
look like it was encroachment.
That would be a 1st down if it is encroachment.
It would be. You're correct. It's 4 yards.
It looked like initially that they came off the line first, but it looks like they're going to call.
And the call is encroachment, and that is a 1st down. Just another mental miscue for Glenbard South here tonight. They've had too many of those to come into this hostile environment and win a ball game.
Yeah, I've lost count now. Numerous dropped catches, muffed punts,
penalties.
Turnovers. Just.
You're going to have too many of those. You can't come into this raucous environment. Like I said, we've done a couple ball games this year, and this is not to, kind of come down to the folks at Ridgewood, because it was a rainy night over there in the shadows of O'Hare, but they had a phenomenal atmosphere here tonight, and that was tough for Glenbard South to come in here to play against that good team on the field and this crowd here, the 12th man.
It looks like the Glenbard South defense a little confused before that handoff, but able to bring him down right at the 8-yard line.
And that was Joey Carino with the run. He gave our buddy number 24 a little break.
Absolutely. Nice to see him coming there. 24 toting the rock. We've got Joey Carino in there to pick up. 2nd down and 10 on the play. 2nd down and 10 on this drive, excuse me.
Could be seeing a very quick snap from Hunter Hughes on this throw, as we usually see in the red zone. He's got 2 wide receivers, one on the bottom of your screen and one on the top.
They are the Via brothers.
There's that pitch you were talking about, Matt. He's going to take it to the 1-yard line. He's going to get that touchdown. Get that touchdown call? Let's see. They have no signal yet, and they're not going to give it to him. They're going to mark him down about the half-yard line.
We got about 8.5 to go. They're up 31-0. I wonder what Curtin is thinking as far as taking Hunter Hughes out of the game going forward. Maybe he keeps him in, maybe he doesn't, but just wondering what his strategy will be closing down into this end of this fourth quarter.
Just a little more pressure on the offensive line to perform.
Absolutely, keep their star quarterback healthy. 3rd and 1 here, see if they can punch it in. Make this a 37-0 game. He's got the pitch.
Joey Carino in for the touchdown.
That's a touchdown, Riverside Brookfield.
Haven't seen much of Joey Carino.
Well, you see him right here now. He's pumped up. He's got his shine. He got his touchdown.
Man, that's brutal. Raiders, just look at their sideline over there. A lot of them in disbelief.
A lot of dejected faces over there.
A lot of them have their backs turned. To be honest, they just can't. They can no longer watch their own team suffer and not be able to stop this Riverside offense.
All the fans are staying here, though, so they got some loyal fan base out there.
They do. Yes, they do.
Absolutely. A lot of dejected faces over there. They could not have expected this coming in here with a chance to clinch a playoff berth. You're all pumped up. You're excited. You're coming in a raucous road atmosphere. It's going to be a penalty room, which will move Riverside Brookfield back on the PAT. But just to finish this up, it really hurts when you come in here. You're pumped up. You're ready to kind of clinch that playoff berth. Ryan Christie's ball club, he's going to fall to 16-14 to end his season here, and they're going to have a 2-3 road record. Just kind of update some numbers here. They have a 2-3 road record and a 3-2 conference record, but it'll be in the hands of the committee to see if they can get in the playoffs.
The best feeling after a win, especially on the road, if Glenbard South were able to pull it off, the best memories I had was in the bus ride home. I mean, the bus ride home, you had the music turned up, you're with your teammates, and I had a feeling that before this game that they really wanted to get a win, especially if they can clinch it on the road. And that bus ride back home, there's nothing like it, and that's what I miss. I mean, we had rap battles,
yep.
And none of us were, MCs or anything like that. We tried to be, but and it was just a fun time, and it stinks to see that Glenbard South is going to have a quiet ride home. And unfortunately, a lot of them, seniors are going to be able to be playing their last football game.
Well, before we break into a rap battle and I'm Jay-Z and Nas, I don't want to put the pressure on you right here. I just threw you under the bus, give you Nas and I'm Jay-Z.
You know what? That's very generous of you, because, you got your guy, new guys like Lonzo Ball saying Nas is nothing, but I'm not going to touch that. I'm not going to touch that. We're going to stick to football because I don't think anybody in football is saying anything.
Let's stay out of the Ball family. They got enough attention with the dad out there.
3 points last night. I don't know about Lonzo Ball anymore.
Lonzo, hey, you had guys like Patrick Beverly who are going to say, I'm going to shut you down and shut your dad up.
You know what LeVar said, though?
What didn't LeVar say?
I mean, look, let me tell you, he's saying that, Beverly is the only reason why he's shining and his name is in the news is because of his son. So, again, you can't blame LeVar because, he's got his three sons on check and they're successful, but it's the complete opposite of what Glenbard South has been able to do today with their players. So
I'll just say it's fun to keep track of LeVar Ball.
Oh man, he's a comic. He is a comic.
Before we break onto a full ESPN First Take routine here, we'll get back to the action on the field. Glenbard South takes the kickoff at about the 20-yard line. There's not much more that can be said. You just want to go ahead and give Brendan Curtin his love here. He's in his 6th season. He'll advance to 34-25. As I mentioned, 3 straight playoff appearances, and it's got to be special for him being a neighborhood guy, a Riverside Brookfield alum. Can you guys talk about how Coach Curtin is received here, in the community, walking through the hallways? How is he kind of liked around among students and fans?
Oh, he's loved, and on the opposite end, Curtin, he knows everyone. He's a gym teacher. He teaches personal fitness, loves conditioning. It shows it off with this very strong team. But I always will say hi in the hallway and vice versa. Everyone loves him, just loves what he shows, so we show it back in the community.
Yeah, and just talking to him, I had him in personal fitness before. And, he would just come up to me and say, hey, I'm, do what you got to do upstairs, and we'll do what we got to do down here. And, it just bounced off from there.
Yeah, he watches them, so.
Hey, Coach, I've been giving you love all night, so hopefully he'll go back and check out this broadcast, because all jokes aside, he really has done a good job here as Jack Crouch is taking off. He's still fighting, spin up to about the 34-yard line there, but just to quote Coach Curtin as he came back, he really showed a lot of love for this program when he came over from Nazareth, and like I said, he himself was a starting quarterback here from 89 to 90. His teams average over 30 points a game, and it's phenomenal what he's done here. He's really turned his program around, and they've got this beautiful facility here to show for it.
And I do believe if there's a 40-point lead, the clock is continuous.
Yeah, that is right.
You are correct. Yes, if there's a 40-point lead here at Illinois High School football, it will be a running clock.
Dude, you talk about a beautiful facility. I always told my mom and dad to put me a full-fledged basketball court in my backyard, but they've said that's probably not a good idea because everyone in the community will be back there. I mean, we could charge admission. I mean, that would be a good idea. I mean, Eric, hey man, you pitch in a little bit. You know, maybe start some. You know, these guys, I'm sure they like making money. I'm sure they'll be paid soon as broadcasters. So hey, we should probably start something because Riverside has rebuilt this facility, and look at them.
Ibrahim, you know, these guys don't know you and I do. I don't know how much that money's going to make into our pockets versus yours. So, you know, we'll hold off on that as that last completion was to Jacob Colby for a first down from Jack Crouch. He's still fighting out there the 5-receiver set.
You know, I don't think that's Jack Crouch anymore.
Good call, Casey. That was not Jack Crouch. That was Jack Crouch on the reception.
Yeah, switching it up.
Yeah.
We're sitting there, break them to a comedy routine. That was number 28, who we do not have a name for, who threw that pass. But that was Jack Crouch on the reception. So it just goes to show what type of athlete he is. He's, you know, as a quarterback, he's a receiver. He's still fighting out there. So good catch, Casey.
And more stuff to love for colleges if he can play, go from quarterback to wide receiver like Braxton Miller.
Absolutely. He's a guy. He's kind of got that receiver size. 5'10", 170, a good slot receiver. You know.
Braxton Miller, man, that guy was huge in college. I bet you can't name where he plays for now. I mean, I don't know where he was such a great player, but he just found himself in the middle. So, you know, that's something that actually Terrell Pryor, you know, he actually went to Ohio State too, and he found himself in the middle between, you know, being a quarterback and wide receiver. Now he's a wide receiver, and he's a pretty damn good one.
Yeah.
And if you want just a nutshell for Glenbard South, it's just that play right there. Just a pass right on the money and just a drop, and then number 20, that was
Ryan McConville. There you go.
Yeah, just slamming his hands on the ground in frustration. Just mistakes all night for Glenbard South, and it shows it on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and guys, Jack Crouch again showing his team how he can be utilized at pretty much anywhere on the field, and that again, that's good for colleges to see.
And that pass will be incomplete for number 28. That pass was intended for number 30 for Glenbard South. They're clearly entering the bench because we're running out of names here, and we do not have a name for number 30. So that's
these Raiders are clearly not the Raiders we were watching last night on CBS. You know, Derek Carr, Amari Cooper, Michael Crabtree, Marshawn Lynch. I mean, I don't like the NFL reference to high school because, you know, they're just so far-fetched, and these guys are pros. But for the Raiders here, you know, again, you just want to give some of the young guys who haven't had a chance all season to play. And like you said, we're running out of names, but, you know, no one knew my name in high school, so it's all good. It's all good, my man.
Well, these are highlights. These just make these guys' days, because this very well...
Oh, come on, make that catch.
This very well looks like it's going to be Glenbard South's last game, just from the performance we've seen out there.
And you see they're emptying the playbook. That was Crouch coming in from his slot receiver position to throw the pass. Was not able to make the catch was Mike Paparota for Glenbard South.
I don't mean to be biased, okay? But I need to see Glenbard South score, okay? I don't care what they do. They better pull a hat out of the track. They better pull a bunny out of the hat because they need to score, man. It's just this has to happen. 37. I'm pulling for them. I'm jumping on their end.
And I'd love to see just Jack Crouch get rewarded for all the efforts he put tonight. Just put something on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and they're doing what they can do.
Hey, but Matt, we do have a new quarterback in for RB.
Oh, yep. Looks like Joseph Sheldon could be coming in for the Bulldogs. As we know from past experiences, he does not really throw the ball that much when put into these positions, but
it's more of just handing it off.
Yeah, more of just handing it off and just getting some on-field time and experience.
Yeah, but no, they're on the sidelines. Number 10, Hunter Hughes, helmet off. So, Matt, why don't you read out Hunter's final game stats?
Yeah, he's going for 12 completions for 138 yards and 2 touchdowns.
All right, guys, as we bring you guys into the booth here, you know, I got my partner Ibrahim Sammer with me. I got these two guys, you know, Casey and Matt from Riverside Brookfield. And, you know, we've had a pretty good ball game for Riverside Brookfield to talk about how they've done tonight.
Oh, it's been just a three-man show, almost like Hunter Hughes, Nick Del-Nodell, and Zach Vaya. Just all out there. They have a great highlight from today's game.
Yeah, I mean, most definitely, Casey. That big three, they know what they're doing. They just got to keep doing it. Like I said before, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And that's the way to go throughout the playoffs.
Yeah, guys, and, you know, it's good to have that analysis there. You know, Riverside Brookfield, they're going to be a strong team going to the playoffs. And like you guys mentioned, that was the backup quarterback. We do not have number 24's name, but he's still toting the rock. But you guys said that was the back quarterback coming in for Riverside Brookfield.
Hunter Hughes is a great end of the night. 138 passing yards on 12 completions, 2 touchdowns. But he showed his presence out there. Only had 2 rushes for 18 yards, but just I bet he's got a great QBR waiting.
The ESPN stat right there, the goal QBR. Hunter Hughes, he's proven that he is a winner, and this will take his starting record to 14-4 since taking over for Keenan Scott last year at Wakanda. He sparked a comeback there, a little choked up. He sparked a comeback there, and he's been his job ever since, and he's shown why here. Ibrahim, do you think this guy has the talent to take his team deep into the playoffs?
I mean, I think it's obvious right now that he could do anything. I mean, it's like walking in a class and you flip open the book and you start flipping through the page, and all of a sudden it's just permanent in your brain. And this is how Hunter Hughes works. He just sees something and he executes it, and then he perfects it. And he's gonna, if they lose in the playoffs, you can guarantee it's not gonna be at his hands.
Now, Hunter's got a great family. Like his mom works at the school. His younger brother is a freshman, Hayden, freshman quarterback. So he's gonna try to follow his father's footsteps. His dad, it's military night. His dad went to the military, and his grandparents, they always watch the games, and they live in New York.
Wow, that's great insight right there. It's nice to see that. We might have another Hughes coming down the pipeline right here. Come and lap the scoreboard here at Riverside Brookfield.
Yeah, if you're planning on becoming a QB here at Riverside, and your last name is not Hughes, watch out, because you're going to have to be able to play outstanding.
Another run by number 24.
Number 24, we promise. I'm sending Casey and Matt. They're on the case. They're going to have your name for next week's broadcast, and they're going to identify who you are, buddy. But you're toting the rock down there. Just to finish up on Hughes, he's a great performer in the weight room. We've got his numbers here listed from thanks to the guys at Max Preps in Hootie. This is a 300-pound squat. Nice bench at 210 pounds and a 315-pound deadlift. Not quite part of the 1,000-pound club, which I can say I was part of when I was in high school, but came pretty close. So he's got great numbers.
1,000-pound club. That may not, for me, it's not for squatting. It's probably for eating. Because look, let me tell you, I'm gonna bet you I have $50 and a Poco di Pepo gift card. Okay, we'll go straight to the restaurant right after the game. I bet you that Glenbard South will at least put up 3 points before this game's over. And if they don't, we're all gonna eat for free tonight, except for me.
You guys heard that, right? Because I'm taking up on that bet. So
I hear it.
You got 338 and counting. And we're not advocating gambling there for you guys at home. Sorry, we know. But 330 and counting here for Glenbard South.
I only got $50. $50 is the cap. Okay. I still go to college. I still have a tuition, and I know you high school guys like to get crazy, because I used to get crazy with my parents when we went to the restaurant. I ordered the $25 steak, but this is not Longhorn. This is Poco di Pepo. $10 each of you, and I'll get the 25.
Hey,
maybe get some Mastacholi.
If we're making bets, Chicago White Sox World Series 2021.
Oh, God.
Okay, you know what? Why don't we all hit our cough button right now so the audience does not hear that we're going to bet on that one? Because I'll take you up on that anytime. White Sox making the playoffs.
Oh, man.
I like that bet.
I'll take it up.
Well, you know what? We got 2 minutes and 48 seconds. We'll take that up after the...
Hey, just put your hand over that GoPro.
Over that GoPro, and then we'll hit our cough button so no one hears that, okay? Hey guys, really quick, just to bring it back here, just we're on camera here. It's been a great night from Riverside Brookfield, and a great atmosphere. Shout out to these fans who've been great. You guys have done a phenomenal job here. Thank you for helping us out here. Sincerely for helping us out here at Frequency Sports, Frequency TV. So thank you.
Oh, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, pleasure.
Loved it. We go 2:22 left on this clock. Joe Shell. Oh, that's a
shank.
Yeah, Stefan Kaminsky. That's maybe his only mistake of the night so far.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been a stud out there all night and all year, and shanked that punt, but it's all right. His coaches won't come down too hard on him. His possession will turn over to Glenbard South, and I'm going to go and just empty the tank here and finish up my notes on Glenbard South. I'm going to give these guys a little love. Coming to the season, like we said, they had to replace their entire offensive line, and that showed tonight. We want to spotlight, a guy who's looking to play in college. Adam Haushan, he's another solid athlete. Runs a sub-4.7 40-yard dash. He's part of the 1,000-pound club, so he's definitely a strong guy. Hopefully this isn't his last football game for Glenbard South. If it is, maybe college, D2, D3 be running around for him as they take the snap, and they'll get a gain of about 6 or 7 yards here. And I'm going to spotlight Ryan Chrissy real quick to take this thing home. Chrissy's, a 33-year-old coach, like I said, took over in 2015. He's had 2 playoff berths. It'll be out of his hands here as to whether he can make that 3 straight trips, and he's done a good job. His players actually, when he got the job there, his players actually gave him a standing ovation because he was the defensive line coach there for 9 years prior. So, you want to see that guy kind of succeed.
Yeah, and that's awesome to see. Someone that's kind of, I wouldn't say a defensive coordinator is at the bottom of the rank or anything, but just to see someone come up from coordinator to head coach is a big deal.
Absolutely. We take it down to 138 and counting here. Guys, can we talk about Jeff Bills a little bit? Because I had a couple notes on him. He's an outstanding athlete. Almost a 400-pound squat. He's a good power clean guy. 250-pound bench press. Does he have any potential college offers, or what do you know on Jeff Bills?
Jeff Bills, he gets, we mainly see these offensive guys and focus on their college offers, so I'm not too sure on Jeff Bills, but after, some sacks every game and some tackles for losses, and I guess maybe that Stefan Kaminsky's short punt was just because they want to get him on the board.
Yeah, let's just say somebody's definitely watching Bills' defensive plays because he makes a lot of them throughout the season.
Absolutely. And the thing about Bills is he'll have that playoff tape to put on his highlight reel, and they'll keep going. So great job tonight for Riverside Brookfield. As there's 1 minute and 10 seconds left, and they will take over and get the victory for Glenbard South. It's out of their hands now. They did what they could, and that's the best showing they have this season. Carry around end. Nice cutback by number 10 for Glenbard South.
Very nice cutback.
He's going to go on the board.
Come on now.
He's going to go on the board.
Come on now.
And it's a touchdown.
Yes.
That is a Glenbard South touchdown.
Somebody owes me some dinner tonight.
That's a Glenbard South touchdown for number 10, Mike Paprota. It's nice to see them on the scoreboard. And Ibrahim, it's all yours.
Yes.
Take it away.
Look, I told you. Look at this replay. Just, oh my God, it's beautiful. It's like it came out the womb and just kept running. Oh my God. Look at him, right to left, all the way around the side, and he's gonna take it in for the touchdown. I love this guy. He saved me a dinner tonight, and I don't have to give up anything to you guys, because I like being selfish with food, like I said. And Eric, I'm sorry, you're gonna have to take this loss, and amongst your your color commentators over here.
Ibrahim, I have multiple classes with you. I've had class with you now for about a year, so I know how you can be. So I know I'm going to hear about this on the ride home.
Yes, sir. You already know.
The extra point is up and good, and that'll bring the score to 37-7 for the home team. The visitors, it's nice to see them get on the scoreboard here and have some type of showing. It's a little too late, but hey, they're on the board.
Hey, it wasn't too late for our boy Abe over there.
Casey, it's never too late for him, believe me. I'll be hearing about this on the ride home all the way back to the city. So,
and in the far distance, you see the buses warming up, and they're gonna pack this show on the road.
The buses are. We see the lights. They're flashing. They're ready to get these guys back over to Glenbard. To Glenbard South, and they'll regroup, and like we said, it's all jokes aside, it's out of their hands now. We wish them nothing but the best and hope that they do qualify for the playoffs. But this showing isn't necessarily going to help. On the flip side, I'm very, very excited to see where this Riverside Brookfield team can go, because they had a strong showing tonight. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I'm going to kind of insert my bias in here. Watching the film, I was a little worried about a potential upset. Obviously, I was wrong by the score, but it's nice to see this Riverside Brookfield team come in here and make a statement, go into the playoffs, and wish them all the best. They'll make a deep run.
Yep, most definitely.
Yeah, they've almost gotten upset a few times this year, but they're a surprising team. They'll beat good teams and they'll surprise you a few other times, but they've got their stuff to work out. They've definitely got a lot of data from tonight, but they look pretty good.
Guys, really quick, since we have the 52 seconds here, can we talk about their loss? What happened that night? Who did they lose to?
They lost to ICCP that beat this Glenbard South team last week, 51-14. They lost 45-0. Hunter passed for 50 yards, and Nick Del Nodell got stopped on offense. So, just got to try to take whatever went wrong that night 3 weeks later, and week 10 in the playoffs, just not let those weaknesses get exploited.
What'd you see on that game last night?
Yeah, I mean, by the way, just to put my input in there, ICCP previous state champions, and again, it's good to see Hunter Hughes against a very tough challenge because you can see what that type of QB can do under pressure like that, and it's also good for colleges to see. But being with a 3-1 conference record, you can tell that Hunter Hughes is very composed under pressure, especially last year against Wakanda, coming in clutch and winning the game for the Bulldogs. You got to play him out, pros and cons, and overall, he's a very good QB.
And, like I said, we wish this team all the best and hope they can make a deep run. I would have liked to have seen that IC Catholic prep team because, they're coming into this week undefeated. We do not know the score of their game tonight, but they are, like you said, defending state champs, and it looks like the road really goes through them. So I would definitely want to see a rematch, Ibrahim, of this Riverside Brookfield team and IC Catholic Prep.
Yeah, you're going to hear about both teams. And if you don't know about what ICC has done yet tonight, you're going to hear about it later.
Well, all right, guys, and that's going to bring the game to a final. It's 37. Riverside Brookfield 37, Glenbard South 7, and that's the final from here. We're hoping to get a word with the starting quarterback, Hunter Hughes. Is our superstar, Jacqueline Torreno's got it down there on the sideline. She's going to hope to get a word with him really quick. But, until then, in the moment, as we let these two teams finish up the post-game handshake, any final thoughts from you guys before we hope to get that post-game interview?
A very strong performance by the Bulldogs heading into the playoffs. They have a lot of positives to go off of and not many negatives. They look like a well-polished team.
Yeah, Casey, just to bounce off of that, momentum going into the playoffs is key for the Bulldogs, and I think they're going to have a very nice run.
And ladies and gentlemen, we have some guys over here that are hungry, but unfortunately, like I said, Glenbard South was going to score inside 2 minutes. They did. You guys owe me dinner. Glenbard South goes home, but Riverside Brookfield gets the win. So, like I said, I'm going to be eating real good tonight, and you guys owe me.
And as we got that picking up here tonight, it's like I said, it's a great win for Riverside Brookfield, and hopefully they have a deep run in the playoffs. For Ibrahim, he's hungry, he's looking forward to a nice dinner. But all in all, just to finish up on the game tonight, it's a very strong showing Riverside Brookfield. Glenbard South, they took it on the chin. It was tough for them to come out here. Like I said, they really wanted to come here. They had a chance to clinch a playoff berth and make a statement. They weren't able to do that tonight, and unfortunately, it looks like their playoff hopes may have gone up in smoke as well. For Riverside Brookfield, they're going to playoff strong. They've got an exciting crowd here tonight. It looks like they'll be back here next week, correct? They'll be back here next week.
Oh, they will. Well,
okay, yeah. So they'll be back here next week. They'll have a chance to defend their home turf. And we'll kind of get a feel for this Riverside Brookfield team, what they can do in the playoffs as we kind of go to some of our highlights here. And the highlights have been all Riverside Brookfield. We're going to take a look right here. This is Jack Crouch on, kind of a play action here with a completion. But that was a pick by Stefan Gabinski, correct?
Yeah. Stefan Gabinski, 1 interception. Not very many stats on the offensive side, but he made his name felt present. Some guys that were very prominent on the offense were Nick Del Nodell, 11 carries, 136 yards, and 2 touchdowns. And here we see his second touchdown. Just a beautiful 10-yard run. Also, Zach Vaya, the kid, junior in high school. We'll see him back next year. 6 catches, 86 yards, and 2 TDs. And just the man of the night, maybe. We'll get an interview soon. Hunter Hughes, 12 completions, 138 yards, and 2 touchdowns. 1 interception, but all in all, fantastic night.
It's all about the win and the victory. He's got that play action pass, and we see, he's always giving those handoffs to Nick Del Nodell. And, that's going to run through the whole season, and that's going to run them through the playoffs. And that's something great to see from a whole team.
Yeah, Hunter Hughes, he's more than what the stat line shows you.
Absolutely.
As he runs it in the end zone here for another score. He's bigger than the stat line. He can do what other quarterbacks can't, and that's get every single guy on the line and across the bench on the same page and together. I mean, there's just something about him that just makes you like him and want to play for him. And there's one thing to just play out, out on the offense or out on the defense for your quarterback, but there's just another thing for to sacrifice for him, and that's what he brings to the table.
And as you saw in that score, that was Joey Carino on that score there, number 22, got in the end zone there. He had a nice night as well, spelling Nick Del Nodell. For Glenbard South, Nick DeAmber wasn't able to get going. We saw him there on that carry there a second ago. There's our buddy number 24. Hey, we don't have a name for you, but you're in our highlight package, so you made it tonight. But Nick DeAmber wasn't able to get going, and that really hurt our Glenbard South team. And like I said, we got the guy Hunter Hughes. Hopefully we're going to have a word with him here in a second. But just to finish up here, our final thoughts, guys. I'm really looking forward to seeing what this Riverside Brookfield team can do in the playoffs. And it was a great showing here tonight. They have the makings of everything you need from a great program. Brendan Curtin, in his 6th season, his record now is at 34-25. This will now be their 4th straight playoff appearance. What he's done for the community, you guys talk about the presence he has in the hallways.
Yes.
He's done a great job, and hopefully, I'm rooting for him. I'm hoping they can get the job done here this season.
And some of the unsung heroes, the fans.
Absolutely.
They'll be back here next week and hopefully in another week, because these Bulldogs, they were 7-2 last year. They got a 5th seed. So this year 8-1. They should be looking at a very good playoff seed tomorrow night. And you definitely know these fans are going to be packed here.
Yeah, and of course, like Abe's, I'm going to bounce off what he said. Hunter Hughes is like a LeBron James of basketball. He brings the best out of other players, and he brings the best out of the whole team. And that's what leads to wins and victories, and so on forth.
All right, yeah, and speaking of the man right here, Hunter Hughes, we've got our girl, Jacqueline Torreno. It looks like she's got him corralled and ready to go out for postgame. So we're going to send it down to our girl, Jacqueline Torreno. She's got the quarterback, Hunter Hughes.
Hey, guys. I'm here with Hunter Hughes right now, kind of the star of the game. So many things working for you tonight. What do you feel worked well for you and your offense to take the win?
Overall, just the line. The line really won the battle up front today, and the running backs did a great job pushing forward, and my receivers did a great job getting open tonight.
Your defense virtually stopping Glenbard just a little bit at the end. They kind of came up. How important was that defense tonight?
Oh, it's huge. We always feed off them. They always feed us. They always feed off us. So, in general, it's just a great team effort win.
Awesome. Your team, the fans, everyone seems to have a lot of faith in you as QB. What does that mean to you?
It means everything. We're always told to trust each other. It's a brotherhood, and I put all my trust in those guys as well.
Awesome. Looking ahead towards playoffs, where's your focus right now?
The first round, just whoever we get, just live in the moment and try and go 1-0 every week.
Well, congrats on the win. Certainly a great and stellar performance tonight.
Thank you.
Awesome. Back to you guys in the booth.
Thank you, JT. It's nice to see, the superstar get his recognition tonight. He had a phenomenal night down there for this game. And, we're going to go and take this thing home. But, final thoughts, Ibrahim, what'd you see out there tonight on this win really quick?
I saw two good teams, one better than the other. And, hopefully for Riverside, they're going to be back here next week in the playoffs. And, I just can't believe the things that they were able to do on offensively, defensively. He mentioned the offensive line played great. And, it's very assuring to see a program like this, exceed expectations and do as well as they did.
Would you guys? All right, guys, so we're just to finish up. We're going to say goodnight, Riverside Brookfield. For these two guys, shout these guys out, Casey and Matt. I am Eric Henry alongside my partner, Ibrahim Samra. Thanks for watching Frequency Sports on Frequency TV. Good night from Riverside Brookfield. Final score, 37-7.